Chapter 1857. When the people around Luoshan heard Luoshan Chuan telling them to stop, many of them had expressions of rage on their faces. Stop? Clan leader is truly magnanimous. A hegemonic-level expert of our Luoshan clan has died here, causing the descendants of the Luoshan clan to be filled with grief and indignation. Yet clan leader actually wants to stop here? Seems like clan leader is still the same as before, willing to sacrifice the entire Luoshan clan for his own selfish desires. Someone spoke, directly criticizing Luoshan Chuan. As the sound of his voice faded, even more people stared at Luoshan Chuan in anger. Clearly, there was a reason why these people supported Luoshan Mu. They felt that everything Luoshan Chuan did caused the Luoshan clan to weaken. They hoped that the Luoshan clan would have a new clan leader. Luoshan Chuan was speechless, he still didn't refute anything. As the clan leader, there were many things he naturally had to bear on his shoulders. However, if he couldn't even protect his own daughter, his own flesh and blood, how could he protect the entire Luoshan clan? The current situation was not what he wanted to see. Luoshan Mu calmly watched everything. He walked to the side of Luoshan Lai's corpse and inclined his head, coldly staring at Qin Wentian. Since elder brother has such a good grandson and you want to protect him, in that case, the descendants of my Luoshan clan can only die in vain. With that, he waved his hand and said, "Let's call it a day." Uncle Mu. Someone called out unwillingly. Many people stared at Luoshan Mu. Are we going to spare him just like that? He, of course, referred to Qin Wentian. Shut up. Luoshan Mu berated. What do you guys want me to do? My elder brother wants to protect his grandson, so what should I do? Should I continue to send you to your deaths? Elder brother's grandson. I'm afraid there's not a single world overlord in our Luo God clan who can defeat him. The eyes of everyone flashed. These people were filled with reluctance. At the same time, they felt shock in their hearts. They couldn't tell, but heavenly deities naturally could. Since Luoshan Mu said that Qin Wentian was so powerful, he naturally must be so. The Luoshan clan actually couldn't find a world overlord who could contend against him. The son of Qin Yuanfeng and Luoshan Qianxue had truly inherited their talent. In fact, there were even signs of him surpassing them. Could it be that you all wish to see the people of my Luoshan clan sending themselves to death? Luoshan Mu coldly spoke. Let's go. Let's return and make arrangements for Lai's funeral. Many people stared at Qin Wentian with even more hatred when they heard Luoshan Mu's words. In fact, their cold gazes even turned to Luoshan Chuan. Qin Wentian quietly stood there, but his heart was cold. This Luoshan Mu, what a good method, inciting the anger of the people of the Luoshan clan, causing them to view his grandfather with hatred. In fact, he even had a feeling that this storm was intentionally created by Luoshan Mu. Regardless of whether Luoshan Lai killed him or was killed by him, the final winner would be him, Luoshan Mu. The experts all dispersed and left. Staring at the expressions in the eyes of the people from Luoshan Mu's faction as they left, an old man behind Luoshan Chuan walked out and reminded, "Clan leader, I'm afraid that Luoshan Mu is behind this matter." Evidently, they who were experienced in combat could faintly tell that Luoshan Mu was setting a trap for Luoshan Chuan. I know. Luoshan Chuan calmly replied. How could he not understand? This clan brother of his was extremely brilliant, or he wouldn't have so many supporters. In this battle, no matter what the ending was, the final beneficiary would always be Luoshan Mu. Could it be that those people can't tell? Someone behind Luoshan Chuan spoke in anger. Those who are directly involved can't see clearly. Luoshan Mu's actions have no flaws at all. In addition, even if people discovered it after the incident, since they support Luoshan Mu, they would naturally cooperate silently. A hegemonic-level world overlord calmly spoke. There's no need for you to kill him. After all, he is also a member of our Luoshan clan. Luoshan Chuan stared at Qin Wentian. If he cared about the fact that I have the Luoshan clan's bloodline in me, and that I'm the grandson of the Luoshan clan's clan leader, he wouldn't have any killing intent towards me. But since he wanted to kill me, it means that he has never thought about you or the Luoshan clan's bloodline in me. He only wanted to protect himself or Luoshan Mu. Since this is the case, he naturally wouldn't show mercy to those on your side. Qin Wentian calmly replied. The struggle for power had always been cruel and cold. Showing mercy would only bring disaster to oneself. Luo Shenchuan naturally understood Qin Wentian's words. He silently didn't reply and departed the area. On the other side, after Luo Shenmu and the others left, some of the juniors of Luo Shenmu followed behind them. A young man asked, "Father, are we going to spare him just like that? Could it be that the deaths of the members of our Luoshan clan were for nothing?" Luo Shenmu's eyes flashed with coldness. "Don't worry, Lai's death will have value." The eyes of the young man gleamed with sharpness. He stared at his father as he sighed in his heart. Seems like his father knew what was going on. He said that Uncle Lai's death would have value. The word value sounded a little cold. However, some sacrifices were unavoidable, wasn't that so? Qin Wentian stayed in the Thousand Snow Palace in the Luoshan clan. This was the place where his mother, Luoshan Qianxue, stayed in the past. Here he could sense his mother's existence. During these few days, Qin Wentian would often head over to Luoshan Yu's place to accompany his uncle and chat about the past. Many of the conversations were about his mother. Luo Shenlei was naturally there as well. As his uncle spoke, Qin Wentian's impression of his mother grew deeper and deeper. She was a heaven chosen of the Luoshan clan, and was known as a goddess. She was the daughter of the Luoshan clan's clan leader, and had unparalleled beauty as well as shocking talent. Once, she met Qin Yuanfeng, who was tempering himself outside. His father only managed to catch up to his mother, because of his constant pestering. After that, his mother fell in love with his father, Qin Yuanfeng, disregarding all objections. Most probably, the setbacks and tribulations she experienced were even more intense compared to him and Qingcheng. "What are you two chatting about?" At this moment, a voice drifted over from Luo Shenyu's courtyard. After that, Luo Shenchuan appeared. "Father." Luo Shenyu called out. "Grandpa." Luo Shenlei also called out. Qin Wentian stared at Luo Shenchuan. During these few days, Luo Shenchuan didn't appear. Qin Wentian didn't know why Luo Shenchuan came here today. Most probably Luo Shenchuan was looking for him. "Nothing much, I'm just casually chatting." Luo Shenyu smiled. He didn't want to mention his younger sister, Luo Shenqianxue, in front of his father. He was afraid that his father would feel sad. Luo Shenchuan didn't continue asking. His gaze landed on Qin Wentian as he spoke. "You have already been here for several days. It's about time for you to leave the Luoshan clan." "Grandpa." Luo Shenlei's beautiful eyes froze. "Elder brother has only stayed here for a few days." She didn't understand why her grandfather wanted to chase her elder brother out of the Luoshan clan. She could sense that her grandfather already had this grandson in his heart. If not, he wouldn't have summoned him to the Luoshan clan for a meeting. Qin Wentian stared at Luo Shenchuan. He could faintly guess the reason. After that, he nodded. "All right, I'll leave now." Right now, his identity was already known to the world. His grandfather, Luo Shenchuan, wanted him to leave because he had no other choice. "There's no need to be in such a hurry. You can leave tomorrow morning. Let Lei accompany you to roam around the Luoshan clan." Luo Shenchuan spoke. Qin Wentian stared at his grandfather's calm eyes and nodded lightly. "Don't clash with others anymore," Luo Shenchuan reminded. After that, he turned and departed. When Luo Shenyu saw his father leaving, he sighed. "Wentian, don't blame your grandfather. You have also seen the current situation of the Luoshan clan. It's very difficult for him." "I understand." Qin Wentian nodded. He understood many things in his heart. The him now was no longer that ignorant young man. He was a character that was nearing the peak. With just one more step, he would be able to step into the deity realm. "Elder brother." Luo Shenlei's beautiful eyes flashed with a hint of disappointment. It has only been a few days and her elder brother was going to leave again? Lei will meet often in the future. Qin Wentian rubbed her head as he smiled. "MHM." Luo Shenlei nodded. She could only console herself like this. Early the next morning, on the Luoshan mountain, a gentle breeze blew. It was extremely comfortable. Qin Wentian came to Luo Shenyu's place to bid farewell, and was preparing to leave. Luo Shenlei was here as well, but Luo Shenchuan wasn't here. "Later, I'm leaving. Will you miss me?" Little rascal, who was on Qin Wentian's back, spoke in a baby voice. Luo Shenlei, who was originally feeling sad, was tickled by Little Rascal's words. She smiled, naturally. Boo-hoo, I'll miss you too. Little Rascal leaped into Luo Shenlei's embrace and rubbed against her. Qin Wentian grabbed Little Rascal's tail and pulled him back. This fellow was still as shameless as ever, he mustn't indulge him. Elder brother, where are you preparing to go after we leave? Luo Shenlei asked. I haven't thought about it yet. Maybe I'll roam the desolate region for a while. Qin Wentian laughed. All right then. Contact me after you arrive at the place. I'll come and look for you. Luo Shenlei had a mischievous smile on her face. Qin Wentian rolled his eyes at her. Right now, it was no longer so safe for her to stay by his side. Let's go. Qin Wentian felt a little sad. He stared at everything before him, at his uncle and younger sister. He couldn't bear to leave just like this. Although Luo Shenlei felt sad as well, she still revealed a beautiful smile. Take good care of yourself and be careful, Luo Shenyu instructed. Qin Wentian turned and stepped out. However, just as he stepped out, a voice rang out. Who dares to barge into my Luoshan clan? This voice was like thunder, shaking the entire Luoshan mountain, echoing out for a distance of 10 million miles, causing the people of the Luoshan clan to be startled awake. All of them had looks of shock on their faces. From this, one could see that the strength of the intruder was extraordinary. Numerous figures soared into the air. Qin Wentian halted his steps. Luo Shenlei and Luo Shenyu also frowned. Qin Zhong from the Qin clan is here to pay a visit to the Luoshan clan. At this moment, a voice rang out, causing the hearts of Qin Wentian and Luo Shenyu to tremble. Qin Zhong from the Qin clan, a heavenly deity, came to pay a visit to the Luoshan clan. Boom! The entire space trembled. Qin Zhong stepped on the Luoshan mountain as a heavenly might bore down on him. Luoshan Chuan's figure appeared in the air. His gaze was extremely cold as he radiated a chill. A heavenly deity from the Qin clan came to the Luoshan clan. His intentions were clear even without saying. However, the news that Qin Wentian was in the Luoshan clan was only known by the people of the Luoshan clan. This meant that there was actually someone who informed their enemy, the Qin clan, about this matter. He told Qin Wentian to move away just in case. But in his heart he still didn't believe that this news would leak out. The people of the Luoshan clan should know their limits. But clearly he was wrong. Chapter 1858. Luoshan Chuan naturally understood that a heavenly deity from the Qin clan paid a visit to the Luoshan clan. He felt some disappointment. Although there was internal strife in the Luoshan clan, that was an internal matter of the Luoshan clan. The Qin clan and the Luoshan clan have had many years of grudge between them. Now, for the sake of seizing power, someone from the Qin clan was willing to sacrifice himself. How could this not cause him to feel pain in his heart? Although he knew that the attitude of these people was that they hoped to reconcile with the Qin clan after they seized power. After all, the current strength of the Luoshan clan was already inferior to the Qin clan. If not, how would the heavenly deities of the Qin clan dare to come to the Luoshan mountain to pay a visit? On the Luoshan mountain, countless experts appeared. They all saw an imposing figure flying over, descending upon the Luoshan clan. Someone from the Qin clan actually dares to come to my Luoshan mountain? Luoshan Chuan coldly spoke. His figure appeared before Qin Zhong. Today, I came here not because of the grudge between the Luoshan clan and the Qin clan. Let's not talk about this for now. Right now, the son of the traitor of my Qin clan, Qin Yuanfeng, is on the Luoshan mountain. I want to bring him away. I'm sure clan leader won't have any objections, right? Qin Zhong went straight to the point, not beating around the bush at all. He came here to take Qin Wentian away. What kind of place do you take the Luoshan mountain for? Luoshan Chuan coldly spoke. How could he allow Qin Zhong to bring Qin Wentian away so easily? If Qin Wentian landed in the hands of the Qin clan, he most probably wouldn't be able to escape. I naturally know what sort of place the Luoshan mountain is. Also, I didn't come here without any disrespect. It's just that the son of a traitor of my Qin clan. Could it be that the Luoshan clan is going to protect him? Qin Zhong's voice turned cold. The Luotian Mountain isn't a place where the Qin clan can behave atrociously. Luotian Chuan spoke. The Luotian clan leader is so imposing. Does the Luotian clan want to obstruct our Qin clan from capturing the traitor's son? If the Luotian clan wants to do this, I'll have to stay in Luo City for a period of time and inform the experts of my Qin clan to come over to seek guidance from the Luotian clan. Qin Zhong coldly spoke. His tone was filled with hints of threat. Threaten me? My Luotian clan has nothing to fear. Luotian Chuan's eyes grew colder. Elder brother. At this moment, a figure walked over. It was none other than Luotian Mu. He spoke. It's true that our Luotian clan isn't afraid of trouble. However, we have to see if it's worth it or not. Qin Wentian himself has already said a few days ago that he has no connection with the Luotian clan. In addition, he acted tyrannically in our Luotian clan, threatening the disciples of our Luotian clan, and killing the hegemonic level experts of our Luotian clan. I don't agree with you. Patriarch, please reconsider. Behind Luotian Mu, someone bowed and called out. Luotian Chuan stared at that person. His gaze was extremely cold. Only now did he understand the purpose of the battle a few days ago. So it turned out that before that, Luotian Mu had already informed the Qin clan. If Luotian Lai won, Qin Wentian would die. Right now, Luotian Mu already had sufficient reason to make the Luotian clan hand over Qin Wentian. He sighed in his heart. Seems like for the sake of the position of the Luotian clan leader, Luotian Mu was already unscrupulous. In fact, he even joined forces with the Qin clan, the enemy of the Luotian clan, just to deal with him. This caused Luotian Chuan to feel a chill in his heart. Those gazes staring at him also caused him to feel cold. You guys mean that since the Qin clan came to our Luotian clan to demand for Qin Wentian, our Luotian clan should obediently hand him over? Although Luotian Chuan felt a chill in his heart, his voice didn't contain any anger at all. It was very calm, like he had seen through everything in the world. Naturally not. Luotian Mu calmly spoke. It's just that our Qin clan has no need to protect a person who killed a disciple of our Qin clan. Because let him leave the mountain himself. As for his fate, it has nothing to do with our Luotian clan. If the Qin clan wants Qin Wentian, there shouldn't be a need for them to act on our Luotian mountain, right? Naturally, as long as the Luotian clan cooperates, I'm willing to wait at the foot of the mountain and won't disturb the Luotian clan. Qin Zhong calmly spoke. Just like what Qin Zhong said, Luotian Mu truly cooperated with him. He coldly laughed in his heart. The Luotian clan was originally already on the path of decline. Right now, the internal strife was still so intense. Most probably, it wouldn't be long before the Luotian clan's destruction. Elder brother, you heard it too. Luotian Mu glanced at Luotian Chuan. What if I say no? Luotian Chuan didn't look at Qin Zhong, he stared at Luotian Mu instead. Before this, when Qin Wentian fought against a disciple of my Luotian clan, elder brother told me to consider the bigger picture, and not to see any damage to the Luotian clan. I did as elder brother said. Even when Qin Wentian killed a disciple of my Luotian clan, I didn't act and didn't allow the Luotian clan's people to continue fighting. Right now, elder brother, as the clan leader of the Luotian clan, you control the fate of the Luotian clan. Everything you do represents the attitude of the entire Luotian clan. You should understand what you should do and not implicate the Luotian clan for your own personal matters. Luotian Mu calmly replied. It was like Luotian Chuan's rejection was equivalent to him betraying the entire Luotian clan. For the sake of this position, you truly put in so much effort. Luotian Chuan sighed. This was hinting for him to abdicate. As long as he was no longer part of the Luotian clan, his attitude wouldn't represent the Luotian clan's attitude. This was his personal matter. There was no need to implicate the Luotian clan. At this moment, Qin Wentian stood below with Luotian Yu and Luotian lay beside him. He carried an ancient sword on his back, and his white robes fluttered in the wind. His eyes were exceptionally cold. He naturally understood that he was betrayed by the Luotian clan. Maybe the word betrayed couldn't be used. His grandfather had his reasons for wanting him to leave. Right now, because of him, his grandfather was in a predicament. If his grandfather wanted to protect him, he most probably had to give up his position as the Luotian clan's leader, and protect him to leave using his personal identity. Despicable. Luo Shunyu's wrinkled face flashed with rage. He clenched his fists tightly, hating the fact that he couldn't fight now. If not, a great battle would surely ensue. This Luo Shenmu actually joined forces with his enemy. For the sake of achieving his goals, he was already willing to use any means necessary. Luo Shenlei's beautiful eyes flashed with rage and nervousness. A heavenly deity from the Qin clan descended, forcing the Luoshan clan to hand over Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian would surely encounter a calamity. Elders, what do you think? At this moment, Luoshan Chuan spoke into the air. His elders were none other than the few old men of the Luoshan clan. They had always been protecting the Luoshan clan from the shadows. Although everything in the Luoshan clan was decided by Luoshan Chuan, the truth was that the status of these old men couldn't be underestimated. Right now, Luo Shenmu could contend against him because he had the support of these old men from the Luoshan clan. Usually, they wouldn't participate in the matters of the Luoshan clan, but they had the authority to decide the overall situation of the Luoshan clan. It's time to let go of some obsessions. A sigh rang out. Upon hearing this voice, Luoshan Chuan's heart trembled. As for Luo Shenmu, his eyes flashed with a resplendent light. Luo Shenyu's eyes froze as his expression grew unsightly. Qin Wentian stared at the change in Luo Shenyu's expression. Seems like the attitude of the owner of this voice was very important. The old man who spoke is a heavenly deity from the Luoshan clan. He is a supporter of your grandfather. Luo Shenyu spoke in a light voice. Qin Wentian naturally understood what this meant. Even the supporters of his grandfather persuaded him to give up. There was naturally no need to say anything more about Luo Shenmu's supporters. His grandfather's position as the clan leader was already in imminent danger. In the air, Luo Shenchuan's figure still stood there. His back was as straight as ever. After he heard that voice, he closed his eyes before opening them again. He was incomparably resolute as he spat out a single word. No. This single word caused the entire Luoshan clan to fall silent. It was completely silent on the Luoshan mountain. Qin Wentian stared at that tall back view as he felt warmth in his heart. When he came to the Luoshan clan and met his grandfather for the first time, his grandfather's might bore down on him. His grandfather's tone was cold. There was no sense of warmth at all. During the few days he stayed on the Luoshan mountain, his grandfather didn't appear at all and didn't talk to him at all. All of this seemed to indicate that his grandfather was treating him coldly. But at this moment, this single word of no seemed to surpass 1,000 words. Many things didn't need to be said. A single word was sufficient. When Luo Shenmu heard this word of no, a cold smile appeared in his eyes. Everything finally progressed according to his predictions. He was getting closer and closer to his goal. Luoshan clan leader, are you trying to interfere in the matters of my Qin clan? If this is the case, my Qin clan will naturally send experts to the Luoshan mountain to demand an explanation. As a heavenly deity, how could Qin Zhong not understand what he should do? Right now, he naturally had to cooperate with Luo Shenmu. Grandfather. At this moment, Qin Wentian spoke. He soared into the air and appeared behind Luo Shenchuan. Luo Shenchuan glanced at him only to see Qin Wentian smiling. Grandfather, I originally prepared to leave. I'll go down the mountain now. Elder brother. Luo Shenlei was shocked as she called out. If Qin Wentian went down the mountain now, wouldn't that mean that he would be brought away by Qin Zhong? What sort of fate would be waiting for him? Luo Shenchuan also stared at Qin Wentian. A warm smile could be seen on the face of this young man. When Luo Shenchuan saw that smile, it was like he was looking at his own daughter. Grandfather, Uncle Layer, they all need you. Qin Wentian transmitted his voiceover. Luo Shenyu's cultivation base was crippled, but he was still able to move freely like a mortal. This originally was something impossible. To cripple a heavenly deity, how terrifying of an injury must be. Being able to live on and not die of old age was all thanks to the resources of the Luoshan clan. For this point, Qin Wentian learned of it from Lei Er. Lei Er said that his uncle had always hated him. Other than his uncle, there was also Lei Er and many others in the Luoshan clan who had submitted to his grandfather. If his grandfather gave up the position of the Luoshan clan leader, what would their ending be? Would they be the same as him? In addition, they might have to face the Qin clan, a powerful enemy. Heavenly deities weren't invincible existences. Qin Wentian couldn't be so selfish. He couldn't let his grandfather give up everything for him, causing his uncle and Lei to be in a difficult position. No way. Luotian Chuan decisively rejected. World overlords against heavenly deities, there would be no suspense. If Qin Wentian went down the mountain, it would be a path of no return. Qin Wentian was his grandson, the only flesh and blood of his daughter. Grandfather, I'm leaving. Take care. Qin Wentian bowed to Luotian Chuan. After that, he turned his head and glanced at his uncle and Luotian Lei. At the next moment, a spatial gate appeared as Qin Wentian directly soared through the air, heading to an unknown faraway place. You want to leave? Qin Zhong coldly laughed. His immortal sense swept through the air, traversing an unknown distance. Chapter 1859. The will of a heavenly deity could no longer be called immortal sense. It was divine sense instead. Under the divine sense, Qin Wentian basically had no way to hide. Although he could travel millions of miles in an instant, he could still feel the divine sense locking onto him. A faintly discernible energy circulated around him. You won't be able to escape. Qin Zhong's voice directly rang out in Qin Wentian's mind. Even Qin Zhong's silhouette appeared in his mind. It felt like Qin Zhong was right in front of him. Qin Wentian didn't care about the voice in his mind. He continued traversing through the void, even entering the void to flee. At an extremely far away place, Qin Zhong stepped out. Each step he took seemed to be traversing an entire world. His movements seemed very slow, but ordinary people wouldn't be able to imagine how far he could travel with each step. Your usage of the Tao of space isn't bad, allowing you to traverse the void. But under my divine sense, regardless of reality or illusion, you have no way to hide. Vile spawn, follow me back to the Qin clan. Don't seek trouble for yourself. Qin Zhong continued moving forward, speaking in a neither fast nor slow manner. It seemed like he wasn't in a hurry to capture Qin Wentian. To him, Qin Wentian was merely an object in his bag. He wanted to leave this place first in case Luotian Chuan interfered. After all, the mission Qin Zhong gave him had to be done well. If Luotian Chuan saw him capturing his grandson, he might act recklessly out of anger and stop him. Over at the Luotian clan's side, Luotian Chuan also didn't expect Qin Wentian to be so decisive, actually choosing to leave just like that. He clenched his fists and wanted to chase after Qin Wentian. However, an old man appeared before him and shook his head at him. Luotian Chuan stared at the old man as he struggled in his heart. His expression was no longer as calm as before, and was extremely unsightly to behold. Did he really have to watch his grandson being brought away by the Qin clan? Qin Wentian was his grandson, the son of Qianxue. If he was really brought away by the Qin clan, if Qianxue was still alive and knew that Qin Wentian was brought away before his eyes, she would definitely hate him, her father. Grandpa, Luotian Lei called out. Her heart was filled with pain and helplessness. Right now, only her grandpa could save her elder brother. Luotian Chuan drew in a deep breath. He stared at the satisfied smile in Luotian Mu's eyes as he sighed in his heart. He still sat on the position of the clan leader. It wasn't that he longed for power, but rather, as a descendant of the Luotian clan, he had a responsibility. But now, the Luotian clan didn't seem to need him that much. Rather than exhausting the strength of the Luotian clan, he might as well give up. Luotian Chuan lifted his foot and was about to leave. But at this moment, Luotian Mu's silhouette flickered as he blocked Luotian Chuan's path. Elder brother, you are the clan leader of the Luotian clan and represent the Luotian clan. By interfering in the internal affairs of the Qin clan, could it be that you want to implicate the entire Luotian clan? I hope that elder brother can place the Luotian clan above all else. Since you want this position so much, I will give it to you. From now onwards, I will no longer be the clan leader of the Luotian clan. Luotian Chuan's voice rang out through the entire Luotian clan. Behind him, his supporters all stared at him in shock as they called out, "Clan leader!" Luotian Chuan turned his head and stared at everyone. In the future, all of you have to work hard for the Luotian clan. I still have the same words. If I can't even protect my own kin, how can I protect the Luotian clan? From today onwards, I Luotian Chuan will no longer be the clan leader of the Luotian clan. The people behind him felt pain in their hearts. They supported Luotian Chuan precisely because of Luotian Chuan's unyielding character. Compared to him, Luotian Mu was too scheming and had powerful methods. They didn't like him. A few old men appeared. They stared at Luotian Chuan, some sighed, some coldly. A victorious smile could be seen on Luotian Mu's face. He once said that Luotian Lai's death would be worth it. Everything was as he had predicted. Given Luotian Chuan's personality, it was destined that he wouldn't be able to tolerate this. Since you have given up the position of clan leader, go and pay your respects to the ancestors and perform the abdication ceremony. The new clan leader will take over. An old man spoke. Luotian Chuan's expression changed. I will pay my respects to the ancestors after I return. No way. Seeing that Luotian Chuan wanted to leave, the old man blocked his path. As long as you don't perform the abdication ceremony, you will still be the clan leader of the Luotian clan. The things you do will still represent the attitude of the entire Luotian clan. They were all supporters of Luotian Mu, and their ideals were the same as Luotian Mu. They naturally wouldn't allow Luotian Chuan to offend the Qin clan at such a crucial moment. They had to stop him no matter what, not allowing him to act against Qin Zhong. If a heavenly deity of the Qin clan was killed by Luotian Chuan, the hatred between them would surely deepen. Although they said that they wanted to perform the abdication ceremony, it was merely to stall for time. They didn't want Luotian Chuan to interfere in Qin Zhong's plan to capture Qin Wentian. Why must you be so overbearing? Luotian Chuan spoke in anger. His aura erupted forth as a heaven-shaking might engulfed the area. The old men all unleashed their might to defend against it. Luotian Mu stared at Luotian Chuan. Luotian Chuan, you want to act against a clan elder? Also, this is on the Luotian mountain. Luotian Chuan. Those old men who supported Luotian Chuan all had looks of disappointment on their faces as they shook their heads. If Luotian Chuan really acted, not only would he lose his position as the clan leader, he would also become a sinner of the Luotian clan. They didn't wish for things to end up like this. Etiquette cannot be abolished. The old man had a resolute look on his face as he calmly spoke. He was determined to stop Luotian Chuan. Father. Luotian Yu silently sighed in his heart. He didn't expect things would end up like this. Grandpa. Luotian Lei felt pain in her heart. Her cold eyes stared at Luotian Mu. Everything was finally going according to his wishes. Okay. Luotian Chuan spoke. After that, he stepped out and directly flew towards the ancestral hall of the Luotian clan. Since the other party was determined to stop him, he knew that he wouldn't be able to leave this place anytime soon. Father. When Luotian Lei saw this scene, she turned her gaze to Luotian Yu. Luotian Yu inclined his head and stared at the air, sighing endlessly in his heart. After abdicating the position of clan leader, he knew that it was impossible for his father and them to continue staying in the Luotian clan. Also, given his father's personality, he would most probably do the same as him in the past, heading to the Qin clan. Sadly, they were powerless to change everything. They could only feel boundless grief and anger. The majority of the people in the Luotian clan sighed in their hearts. They didn't expect that their Luotian clan would really end up like this. Although Luotian Mu won in the end, to the entire Luotian clan, was this really a victory? Most probably from now onwards, the strength of the Luotian clan would become even weaker. How is elder brother? Luotian Lei prayed in her heart. However, she knew that her prayers were useless. Because this time around, her elder brother was facing a heavenly deity. If a heavenly deity from the Qin clan wanted to capture him, how could he escape? At this moment, Qin Wentian had already left the boundary of the Luotian mountain. In fact, he had already left Luo City and was speeding through the air. Qin Zhong's divine sense was still locked onto his location. Even though he was in the void, he had no way to escape the range of Qin Zhong's divine sense. Qin Zhong was certain that Luotian Chuan wouldn't chase after him. His eyes flashed with coldness as he calmly spoke. Qin Wentian, I acted against your father in the past and now, I want to capture you as well. The affairs of the world are unpredictable. It's like a cycle of samsara. Follow me back to the Qin clan. As the sound of his voice faded, a surge of heavenly might descended, enveloping this entire space. The wind and clouds in the sky changed as a terrifying golden tempest manifested, revolving frenziedly. The entire sky seemed to be enveloped by heavenly might. At this moment, the people below all inclined their heads and stared at the sky as great waves rose in their hearts. What was going on? The sky was actually trembling as heavenly might descended. A god stood in the air. His entire body bathed in golden light. He was a true heavenly deity. Countless people below prostrated themselves in worship. There were even some who prostrated themselves on the ground. They actually saw a god. Divine might radiated from the heavens. To countless people, gods were supreme existences. They were existences that overlooked all living things. They prostrated themselves in worship, but in the eyes of gods, they didn't exist. All living things were like ants to them. In the air, Qin Zhong stood there. Behind him, an incomparably gigantic golden bell appeared, resembling the ancient bell of the heavenly Daos. This bell transformed into the heavenly Daos, as though it was born from the entire sky. It also seemed like it was Qin Zhong's astral soul. Since you don't want to surrender, then I can only do it myself. Qin Zhong calmly spoke. The ancient bell that transformed into the heavenly Daos radiated boundless light as the bell chimes rang out. This entire space seemed to be struck by a tribulation of heavenly Daos, splitting apart the void. Many experts who were prostrating themselves on the ground directly coughed out blood as their bodies trembled violently before they died. Their eyes were wide open. They died with regrets. Why did a god want to kill them? It wasn't that the god wanted to kill them. It was just that in the eyes of this god, they were no different from ants. The person he wanted to deal with was none other than Qin Wentian. The terrifying tribulation of heavenly Daos blasted into the void. Even if one was in the void, they still wouldn't be able to escape the punishment of this tribulation. Qin Wentian pulled out his sword. Resplendent Tao might erupted forth, slashing towards the incoming tribulation of heavenly Daos. A terrifying destructive might erupted forth, causing the entire space to collapse. Qin Wentian's silhouette appeared. When he saw so many innocent people dying here, his eyes gleamed with coldness. When he inclined his head and stared at Qin Zhong, an incomparably intense killing intent could be seen flickering in his eyes. Was this a heavenly deity? The people of the world prostrated themselves to him, yet he viewed them as ants. When the heavenly might descended, all lives would be annihilated as the innocent died. You still want me to act? Qin Zhong calmly spoke. Qin Wentian's eyes were cold to the extreme. He wielded the demon sword as his killing intent sword. Was he one of the people who acted against his father before? You actually have battle intent? Qin Zhong had a mocking smile on his face. Qin Wentian was like an ant trying to shake a tree, overestimating his own capabilities. Below heavenly deities, all lives were the same. They were nothing but ants. In their eyes, hegemonic level world overlords were no different from mortals. The ancient bell on Qin Zhong's back transformed into the heavens. This world was the world of the ancient bell. Within it, heavenly might gushed forth, gushing forth. The gigantic ancient bell represented the heavenly Tao, and was capable of unleashing world-destroying might. Boundless heavenly might gushed forth from the ancient bell as layers of light radiated downwards, wanting to destroy the heavens and earth. Qin Wentian's silhouette stood below the ancient bell. Under the might of the heavenly might, he seemed so tiny and insignificant. Chapter 1860. Qin Wentian's gaze turned solemn. Little rascal on his shoulder narrowed his eyes as he stared at the heavenly might. He had never faced such a powerful might before. With a single glance, Qin Wentian's eyes contained the Tao, the eye of heaven's will. In an instant, the entire world seemed to have fallen into his eye technique world. Qin Zhong, who was staring at Qin Wentian, started as a look of bewilderment flashed through his eyes. He was actually drawn into Qin Wentian's Tao. However, Qin Wentian actually wanted to fight against a heavenly deity? How ridiculous! Break. Qin Zhong spat out a word. The gigantic bell in the air cascaded down a beam of light, causing the heavens and earth to shatter. Qin Wentian's Tao was directly destroyed. He was still as insignificant as before. He could only stare up at the arrogant figure in the air. Qin Zhong coldly snorted. Seems like if he didn't teach Qin Wentian a lesson, Qin Wentian wouldn't obediently leave with him. Boom. The bell chimes rang out, wanting to shatter one's body. Qin Wentian felt that he was directly locked onto by the heavenly might. It was impossible for him to escape even if he wanted to. The light screen cascaded down. The heavenly might was like a calamity from the heavens, capable of splitting the heavens and earth apart. Qin Wentian's eyes gleamed with a terrifying light. Resplendent heaven heart mandates revolved around him, condensing the energy of his world heart together to protect him. Around him, time and space froze, all attacks stopped. At the same time, there were also countless powerful beams of light radiating from him. Heavenly might descended from the sky, directly blasting into the light screen around Qin Wentian. It ignored the power of time and space, destroying everything in its path. Qin Wentian groaned in misery as his body trembled violently. He coughed out a mouthful of blood as his countenance turned as pale as paper. Was this the power of a heavenly deity? This was the first time he faced a heavenly deity directly. Although he had seen battles between heavenly deities before, how could it be compared to personally experiencing it? Roar! A thunderous roar rang out. Little Rascal transformed into a golden primordial beast, like the king of all beasts. His baleful eyes stared at Qin Zhong in the air, flickering with a thirst for blood. It's actually a heaven-devouring beast. Qin Zhong looked interested. Interesting. He had not noticed the little monster beside Qin Wentian before. It seemed like it was a xenogeniac. The boundlessly huge ancient bell enveloped the world. Under the sky, countless golden ancient bells appeared. Each ancient bell was trembling and emitting a buzzing sound, emanating the might of the heavenly Tao. Qin Wentian was trapped deep within. This was like a dead end. He didn't even have the chance to escape. This was the heavenly Tao world of his opponent. The heavenly god's Tao was the heavenly Tao, and his will was the heavenly will. Stubborn fellow. If I accidentally get killed, I'm afraid I'll only be able to bring back a corpse. Qin Zhong said faintly. As soon as his voice fell, the ancient bells spun madly and blasted towards Qin Wentian. A sword domain suddenly appeared behind Qin Wentian. Countless killing swords danced in the air as the demon sword in his hand hummed. That sword domain was the power of his astral soul. The resplendent light from it indicated that it originated from the 8th heavenly layer. The demon sword in Qin Wentian's hand danced lightly. In an instant, the countless swords in his astral soul sword domain all danced in the air. Each of the swords in the sword domain seemed to contain the might of the Tao. At this moment, Qin Wentian was surrounded by a terrifying sword formation. It was unknown how powerful it was. These sword lights seemed to contain the Tao of spacetime, traversing through the void. Qin Zhong stared at Qin Wentian's actions as he frowned. Qin Wentian was only at the World Overlord realm, but his comprehension had already reached such a level? He was already very close to comprehending the Tao of heavenly deities. His astral soul started to radiate a power that only heavenly deities should have. This caused Qin Zhong to sigh in his heart. As expected of the son of Qin Yuanfeng and Luotian Qianxue, the blood of the Qin clan flowed in his body. Sadly, he was destined to die. After capturing him, Qin Zheng's next step was to lure Qin Yuanfeng out. Countless rays of resplendent energy from the ancient bell bore down on Qin Wentian's sword domain. Around Qin Wentian, an incomparably gigantic ancient character appeared, sword. This ancient word sword seemed to be the Tao itself, representing the power of this sword domain. The ancient bells that contained incomparable might descended, rushing into the sword domain. However, there wasn't any heaven-shaking collision. Instead, they sank into the sword domain, like they were directly buried within. This scene caused Qin Zhong to sigh in admiration. Sword! Qin Wentian's demon sword danced in the air. In an instant, boundless sword light shot out, soaring up into the clouds. In an instant, a sword river appeared in the sky, penetrating through space. Within the sword river, countless ancient bells of destruction appeared. The golden bells radiated an incomparable might, wanting to shatter the heavens. These ancient bells were the energy that attacked Qin Wentian earlier. Right now, Under the guidance of Qin Wentian's sword, they started to devour Qin Wentian. The bells were born from my Tao. How can they devour me? Qin Zhong said indifferently. The gigantic ancient bell in the sky let out a chime. After that, the ancient bell shattered and exploded. The entire world seemed to have exploded at this moment as a destructive might wreaked havoc in a frenzy, giving birth to an extremely terrifying storm of destruction. Senior, where is the weakness of heavenly deities? Qin Wentian asked the skybreak heavenly deity in his mind. Heavenly deities have no weaknesses. If you want to defeat a heavenly deity, you have to break their Tao first. Only by breaking their Tao will you have a chance to kill them. However, this is something impossible to accomplish. The skybreak heavenly deity sighed. He was once a heavenly deity and knew how strong heavenly deities were. The Tao of this heavenly deity before him was that ancient bell of heavenly Tao. How could Qin Wentian break it? He also didn't expect that Qin Wentian would be able to fight against heavenly deities so quickly. According to his thoughts, if Qin Wentian was given more time, he would be able to slowly come into contact with heavenly deities on that level. Even if I can't accomplish it, I have to accomplish it. If not, I will die. Qin Wentian sighed. Either he broke his Tao or he died. There was no third choice. If he was brought back to the Qin clan, it would be no different from death. He couldn't bear to be captured by his enemies. That would be a form of humiliation to his father. He might as well die in battle. At the very least, he would still have an avatar. Under the Tao art of heavenly deities, there was no way to escape. He could only fight. With a flash of his silhouette, Qin Wentian directly soared through the air, flying towards Qin Zhong who was in the air. Right now, his control over spatial energy had long since reached a transcendent level. Qin Zhong coldly stared at Qin Wentian's arrival. When Qin Wentian slashed out, he didn't even move. He could sense Qin Wentian's power, the power to freeze time and life, as well as an extremely tyrannical destructive might. All of them shot towards him. He didn't evade, allowing Qin Wentian's sword to pierce into his body. A crisp clanging sound rang out. To Qin Wentian's shock, he discovered that what he stabbed wasn't a body of flesh and blood. Rather, it was a type of Tao. Qin Zhong was a fusion of the Tao. As long as his Tao was unbroken, he would be indestructible. When Qin Wentian attacked Qin Zhong, it was like he was attacking the ancient bell of heavenly Tao. Heavenly deities had no flaws, they were invincible. Qin Zhong's body suddenly expanded in size. He opened his mouth and breathed out. It was like he had breathed out an ancient bell. With a deafening clang, Qin Wentian's entire body trembled. A terrifying force directly penetrated through his body, shaking his soul. His entire body was on the verge of collapse as he coughed out another mouthful of blood. Just a simple breath contained the power of heavenly might. Is this the strength of a heavenly deity? Qin Wentian truly experienced the strength of a heavenly deity. During these 100 years of seclusion, his improvement was extremely great. His comprehension in all aspects had undergone a transformation, and he was much stronger than before. But even so, he still felt helpless before a heavenly deity. If it wasn't for your uncle wanting me to capture you, you would already be dead. Qin Zhong calmly spoke. Qin Zhong wanted people alive. When Qin Wentian heard the way Qin Wentian addressed him as uncle, his gaze turned even colder. The hand holding the sword in his hand became even more stable. Go. Qin Zhong spoke. As the sound of his voice faded, another incomparably gigantic ancient bell descended. This ancient bell contained the power to suppress the heavens and earth, ruthlessly pressing down on Qin Wentian. With a thunderous boom, Qin Wentian's body felt like it was about to be suppressed by this ancient bell. His body soared through the air, but the ancient bell also seemed to be able to traverse through the air, firmly locking onto him. Boom! A thunderous sound rang out. The ancient bell wanted to press Qin Wentian into the ground. However, Qin Wentian still stood there. The astral sword formation behind him erupted with a world-shaking sword might. With a single slash, a deep crater appeared on the ground. The ancient bell was also shattered. Qin Wentian coughed out blood. When he inclined his head and stared at Qin Zhong, he only saw that Qin Zhong's eyes were filled with disdain. From Qin Zhong's point of view, no matter how much Qin Wentian struggled, it would only be futile. He was simply asking for trouble. The heavenly Tao ancient bell radiated boundless light. More and more ancient bells descended, each containing the same amount of power as earlier, simply causing people to feel despair. Roar! Little Rascal let out a low roar. Don't act. Qin Wentian transmitted his voice to Little Rascal. Little Rascal's strength was still insufficient in front of a heavenly deity. It was useless. As the sound of his voice faded, he soared up into the air once more, transforming into a beam of light that shuttled through the air. Those ancient bells sealed this entire space and directly shot towards Qin Wentian. However, just when those ancient bells were about to crush him, Qin Wentian's body abruptly vanished. Space twisted and warped as Qin Wentian's silhouette once again appeared before Qin Zhong as he slashed out with his sword. Qin Zhong's eyes flashed, feeling somewhat surprised. However, his eyes were still filled with disdain. He lifted his palm and blasted out. Qin Wentian's body was directly blasted back, slamming into the ancient bells. All the bones in his body felt like they were about to shatter, but he still forcibly stabilized his body. It's time to end this, right? Qin Zhong calmly spoke. This son of Qin Yuanfeng truly had the same personality as his father. If he continued to fight, he would only be asking for trouble. Qin Wentian's eyes grew more resolute. Even though his body was covered in blood, his hand that was wielding the sword grew steadier and steadier. His body arced through the air in a beautiful arc, like a beam of light, rushing towards Qin Zhong for the third time. There was no hesitation at all. His expression was filled with determination and coldness. If one wanted to kill a heavenly deity, they had to first break their Tao. The Tao of heavenly deities was the heavenly Tao. How could one break it? Qin Zhong didn't seem to mind it at all. He stared at Qin Wentian's incoming silhouette. At this moment, a black-colored cudgel appeared in Qin Wentian's hands. It looked extremely ordinary and didn't exude any energy. However, Qin Wentian held it tightly in his left hand. Chapter 1861. Qin Zhong's gaze was as disdainful as ever. Qin Wentian was truly stubborn. He actually didn't want to give up. Qin Zhong was simply asking for trouble. Could it be that he had to cripple Qin Wentian and bring him away before Qin Wentian would give up? He coldly stared at Qin Wentian's descending body and didn't resist at all. He had already transformed into the heavenly Tao. How could Qin Wentian's attack be able to shake him? It was like an ant trying to shake a tree. Qin Zhong's body radiated with heavenly might as a cold light flashed in his eyes. He didn't intend to continue wasting time. Since Qin Wentian didn't want to give up, he would make sure that Qin Wentian would never forget this for the rest of his life. Behind him, rings of light from the ancient bell manifested, revolving frenziedly. The might of the great Tao pressed down, waiting for Qin Wentian's arrival. Qin Wentian's gaze was extremely cold. He arrived before Qin Zhong without any obstructions. The confident Qin Zhong didn't block at all. He simply waited for Qin Wentian's attack. Qin Wentian was overestimating his own capabilities. He was a heavenly deity, below heavenly deities. All life was nothing but ants. At the instant Qin Wentian arrived before Qin Zhong, the sword in his right hand wasn't the first to erupt forth. Instead, it was the black cudgel in his left hand. This cudgel abruptly enlarged, resembling a heavenly pillar as it smashed down. With a thunderous boom, it directly smashed into Qin Zhong's gigantic body. However, it was like it had smashed into the ancient bell of heavenly Tao. An intense sound rang out, as though it wasn't made of flesh and blood at all. However, at the instant the black cudgel smashed down, the confident expression on Qin Zhong's face suddenly changed. His entire countenance contorted as an expression of pain appeared on his face. Disbelief could be seen in his eyes. It was like he didn't believe that a single strike from Qin Wentian would be able to shake him. When this cudgel smashed down, Qin Zhong felt as though his body and soul were about to be separated. His Tao became unstable as it trembled. However, how could Qin Wentian miss such a good opportunity? If he changed the flow of time, how many attacks could he unleash in an instant? For a period of time, countless black shadows appeared as thunderous booms filled the air. In that instant, It was unknown how many times the black cudgel slammed into Qin Zhong's body. As a heavenly deity, it was impossible for Qin Zhong to endure so many attacks in an instant. He should have long since reacted or retreated. However, he didn't. Under the trembling of his soul, even though he was a heavenly deity, his reaction speed still became sluggish. As a result, he had to endure so many attacks in an instant. Qin Zhong's entire person was in a daze. The entire sky was trembling madly, and after that, the heavenly Tao ancient bell shattered apart as the heavenly Tao energy within it crumbled. Qin Wentian glanced at Qin Zhong. This gaze was the eye of heaven's will. It contained a Tao art within it, bringing Qin Zhong into a domain of absolute control. Sword life. Qin Wentian spat out a word. Behind him, his astral sword domain erupted forth with a heaven-shaking sword might. Countless ancient sword characters floated in the air, each of them containing the power of the Tao. Qin Wentian slashed out with the sword in his hand. In an instant, the sword light from the ancient sword characters wanted to engulf Qin Zhong. The time Tao bone in his body radiated a terrifying power of time as the astral souls behind him were all released, boosting his attribute energy to the extreme. When dealing with a heavenly deity, since Qin Wentian already gained the initiative, he had to directly destroy his opponent. He mustn't give them any more chances, or the one who would be destroyed would be him. Hence, in an extremely short instant, the power Qin Wentian unleashed could truly be said to be heaven-shaking. It was like he wanted to freeze Qin Zhong's body within the boundless sword Tao, allowing him to endure the killing might of the 10,000 swords. A look of terror appeared in Qin Zhong's eyes. Qin Wentian had actually concealed his strength, all for the sake of unleashing his full power in an instant. Also, that black cudgel was a true divine weapon. Under the eruption of power from Qin Wentian, Qin Zhong's body was being torn apart bit by bit. His life force was on the verge of dissipating, but Qin Wentian's actions didn't stop. He was still attacking, only stopping when Qin Zhong's body was completely destroyed. His entire body was covered in sweat. Finally, was he able to kill Qin Zhong? Heavenly deities were too dangerous. If it wasn't for Qin Wentian being careless, if it wasn't for the black cudgel given to him by the crazy old freak, Qin Wentian wouldn't have any chance at all. But just when Qin Wentian relaxed, all of a sudden, an intense sense of danger gushed over. Qin Wentian sensed that something was wrong. He instantly retreated, entering the void. After that, an illusory figure appeared in the destroyed space before him. It seemed to be a soul. That soul shadow was none other than Qin Zhong. His eyes flashed with an incomparably terrifying killing intent. He was a heavenly deity, yet he was actually killed by Qin Wentian. A lofty heavenly deity was actually killed by an ant. How tragic was this? Qin Wentian's disguise had fooled him. He was too confident and gave Qin Wentian a chance. But this time around, he wouldn't give Qin Wentian another chance. Boom! The illusory figure transformed into an incomparably gigantic ancient bell. This ancient bell radiated boundless multicolored light, capable of suppressing everything. In an instant, the entire space was enveloped by the power of the ancient bell. Qin Wentian, who was in the void, was still being suppressed. After that, the ancient bell locked onto Qin Wentian and directly descended, shooting towards Qin Wentian. The golden light radiating from it was like a calamity of the heavenly Tao, capable of destroying everything. Qin Wentian frantically retreated. He kept the demon sword and lifted that black cudgel once again. He could sense that this ancient bell was formed from Qin Wentian's soul. Only this black cudgel was the most suitable to block it. There was no way for him to retreat. That beam of multicolored light enveloped him. Qin Wentian felt a true destructive might. At this moment, Qin Zhong no longer held back. He was already in such a state. How could he still think of saving Qin Wentian? Right now, he only wanted Qin Wentian to die. Roar! Little rascal could sense that Qin Wentian was being threatened. He wanted to rush over. Scram! Qin Wentian fiercely flung him away. How would he let little rascal send himself to death? The black cudgel in his hand transformed into a towering black cudgel. Qin Wentian transformed into a giant, becoming incomparably gigantic. He lifted the god-slaying cudgel, and the flow of time changed. With his fastest speed, He blasted it towards the multicolored light, aiming for that incomparably gigantic ancient bell. The god-slaying cudgel collided with the multicolored light, directly penetrating through it. This cudgel only targeted the soul. Even if it was the soul of a deity, it would still attack. That gigantic beam of multicolored light directly blasted into Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian only felt his body being destroyed bit by bit. He let out a roar of pain as his body gradually turned illusory. The ultimate strike of a heavenly deity. How powerful was that? However, Qin Wentian's god-slaying cudgel didn't stop. It continued blasting forward with extreme speed. Roar. From afar, Little Rascal let out a thunderous roar. He saw Qin Wentian's body turning illusory bit by bit, as though he would vanish at any moment. That incomparably gigantic body was about to vanish into thin air, turning into dust. However, under the attack of the multicolored light, even though he was behind Qin Wentian, even though he was very far away, he still suffered from the attack. He let out a roar of pain, but he had no strength to continue rushing forward. Boom! A thunderous boom rang out. It felt like the heavens and earth were collapsing. Qin Wentian's god-slaying cudgel slammed into the ancient bell, causing a heaven-shaking sound to echo out. The entire sky trembled as a storm of destruction ravaged this entire space. Qin Wentian's body was directly destroyed. The god-slaying cudgel also fell from the air. That ancient bell trembled madly. After that, a voice filled with sorrow and anger rang out. I'm a heavenly deity, I'm unwilling. This voice shook the entire space for a distance of 10,000 miles. However, there was no one within 10,000 miles. They were all destroyed by Qin Wentian. As the sound of his voice faded, cracks gradually appeared on that ancient bell before it shattered into pieces. At the instant it shattered, an illusory silhouette of Qin Wentian appeared. However, it was the same as Qin Wentian's body, directly exploding into pieces as the entire space trembled once more. In this boundlessly vast space, everything was deathly silent. There was no sound at all. In this boundless space, an illusory silhouette could be seen floating there weakly. There was also the silhouette of a gigantic beast lying there on the verge of death. The god-slaying cudgel transformed back into an ordinary-looking black cudgel, quietly lying on the ground. Even if it was placed there, there might not be anyone who would pick it up. However, earlier, this ordinary-looking cudgel actually killed a heavenly deity. The silence in this space was as still as before. No one knew what happened here. However, there would be people who knew of Qin Wentian's death. In the Qin clan, a majestic palace exuded a majestic aura. At this moment, the peace of the Qin clan was broken. In the palace, many people were gathered here. Qin Zheng sat in the leader's seat. His expression was extremely unsightly to behold. Just today, not long ago, a calamity occurred in the Qin clan. A heavenly deity had fallen. The entire great hall was filled with deathly silence. Heavenly deities, supreme existences in the supreme ancient immortal realms. No matter which power they were in, they were truly peak characters. The death of a heavenly deity would definitely be a huge loss. Even to a hegemonic power like the Qin clan, it was the same. Clan leader, the Luotian clan must have interfered. Let's send our troops to the desolate region. Someone spoke. His expression was cold to the extreme as killing intent permeated the air. Since Qin Wentian died because he went to the Luotian clan to execute the clan leader's orders, Luotian Chuan must have done it. The Luotian clan actually dared to kill a heavenly deity of their Qin clan. This matter couldn't be tolerated. They could only attack the Luotian clan. Even if a war between peak powers erupted, they wouldn't hesitate. Since this involved the death of a heavenly deity, how could the Qin clan let this matter rest? Right. Qin Zheng only replied with a single word. There was no need for any reason or discussion when a heavenly deity died. They directly sent their troops to the Luotian clan. The Qin clan was shaken. Their experts moved out, preparing to head to the desolate region. But at this moment, the Luotian clan had no idea of this. They had just completed the handover of the position of clan leader. Luotian Mu finally ascended to the position of clan leader. Chapter 1862. At the location where Qin Wentian and Qin Zhong fought, a very long time passed. The entire space was still deathly silent. There were no signs of life at all. However, at this moment, that illusory shadow suddenly emitted a fluctuation as it radiated a faint glow. The shadow gradually showed signs of corporeal, recovering bit by bit. Although the recovery speed was very slow, the signs were still very clear. Until the end, the illusory shadow took form, transforming into Qin Wentian. In fact, there were even motes of astral light radiating from him, containing the power of his astral soul. His fleshly body also started to reconstruct. If others were to see this, they would surely sigh in admiration. After a long time, an intact body appeared. It was none other than Qin Wentian. In the air, a resplendent beam of light suddenly flashed, resembling the power of time. This beam of light directly bore into Qin Wentian's body, fusing into his reconstructed body. After everything was completed, Qin Wentian was still the Qin Wentian from before. In fact, his consciousness was also clear, but he was still quietly lying there. With a flick of his finger, that ordinary-looking black cudgel directly flew into Qin Wentian's body, connecting with his flesh and blood. Although he had picked up this cudgel a long time ago, he only managed to truly refine it after 100 years. He knew that the name of this cudgel was the God-slaying cudgel. That old fellow from the dark north Immortal Mountain tossed this cudgel to him back then. Right now, this cudgel helped him kill a heavenly deity and saved his life. If he really landed in the hands of the Qin clan, even if he cultivated the undying scripture, and had the ability to reconstruct his fleshly body, he would still die. In the Qin clan wouldn't give him any chance at all. They would strip him of everything he had. As long as one's soul didn't die, it would be indestructible. This was the power of the undying scripture. In addition, his devil-attributed astral soul had the power of undying. Hence, even if he was injured to such an extent, he would still be able to recover. However, it was impossible for him to completely recover. Right now, he was very weak and needed time to recover. At this moment, a few bolts of lightning flashed through the air as a group of figures appeared in the air. The one in the lead was a man and a woman. The man had a demonic handsome face and an incomparably sharp gaze. As for the woman, she exuded magnificence through the generations. Her black hair cascaded down like a waterfall and her skin was like jade. It was just that her aura was a little cold. "There's someone here." An expert with 2 horns on his head spoke. After which, a group of them descended from the air, landing in front of Qin Wentian and Little Rascal. This is... Their eyes involuntarily narrowed when they saw the gigantic body of Little Rascal. Heaven-devouring beast of the royal race. Her voice was as cold as her temperament. She said, "Bring him back to the mountain." "Where is he?" Someone looked at Qin Wentian in the distance. "It seems like a huge battle has broken out here. I wonder who this person is. Let's bring him along for now." The female spoke. After that, Qin Wentian felt his body being lifted up by someone as they soared through the air. He was somewhat speechless. He was actually being carried by someone like this. He had never experienced such a thing before. It was simply too miserable. After they left for a period of time, a few more figures arrived here. It was none other than Luotian Chuan. Beside him were a few people from the Luotian clan who were willing to follow him. Luotian Yu and Luotian Lei were naturally among them. A deity-level battle erupted here. Luotian Chuan's expression turned ashen, extremely unsightly to behold. This meant that Qin Wentian might have fought against Qin Zhong. Given Qin Wentian's cultivation base at the World Overlord realm, how could he fight against a heavenly deity? The consequences would surely be extremely miserable. After handing over the position of clan leader, he immediately rushed over, but he was still too late. Naturally, this was also within his expectations. It wouldn't take long for a heavenly deity to deal with a world overlord. Most probably, Qin Wentian could flee so far away because of Qin Zhong's intentions. "Elder brother." Luotian Lei's eyes turned red. Why did things turn out like this? In the world of reincarnation, they had already experienced a separation of life and death. Could it be that they would have to experience it again in the real world? "Let's go." Luotian Chuan was expressionless as he led everyone away. "Father, don't go to the Qin clan." Luotian Yu begged. His heart was filled with pain. and he wanted nothing more than to kill his way into the Qin clan. However, what was the use of doing so? It was useless. No matter how powerful his father was, it was impossible for him to go to the Qin clan to get Qin Wentian back. Since they can send out heavenly deities to capture my grandson, I can naturally use the same method to deal with them. Luo Xinchuan coldly spoke. Right now, he has already removed the burden of being the clan leader of the Luotian clan. There was no longer a need for him to worry so much when he did things. Luo Xinyu's eyes flashed. He knew that his father has already made his decision. It was useless for him to persuade him. They started to move with extreme speed towards the Heaven region. But at the same time, the experts from the Qin clan of the Heaven region were also on their way to the Luotian clan of the Desolate region. The experts of the Qin clan all moved out. How could this be hidden from the eyes of those peak powers? The few peak powers of the Heaven region immediately received the news. When they heard that the Qin clan sent out an army with a heavenly deity at the lead and the clan leader Qin Zheng personally leading the troops, they instantly gathered experts for a discussion. They knew that something major must have happened, something heaven-shaking. If not, the Qin clan wouldn't have sent out such a lineup. After that, they sent people to investigate the location of the Qin clan's army. The best place to do so was naturally within the Qin clan. Although everything happened very suddenly, the news still leaked out very quickly. Such a major matter basically couldn't be concealed. The Qin clan sent out an army. It was sufficient to cause the entire supreme ancient immortal realms to tremble. Which hegemonic power would dare to not treat this seriously? Finally, they received the news that the Qin clan sent out an army to the Luotian clan of the Desolate region. Because the heavenly deity of the Qin clan, Qin Zheng, died in the Desolate region when he was carrying out Qin Zheng's orders. For a period of time, this news spread from the other regions of the Heaven region to the Earth region, Mystic region, Yellow region. The various hegemonic powers were all shocked by this and paid attention to this. Right now, the Qin clan could be said to be extremely prosperous. The Luotian clan was originally weak before the Qin clan. Yet they actually dared to kill a heavenly deity of the Qin clan. Were they trying to incite a war between the peak powers? A heavenly deity had died. How could the Qin clan let this matter rest? The experts of the Qin clan moved out, causing the supreme ancient immortal realms to tremble. The entire world was paying attention to this. This news even spread to the origin of this incident, the Luotian clan. When the Luotian clan learned that Qin Zheng had died, and the Qin clan sent out an army to the Luotian clan, they were completely stunned. How could this be possible? Back then when Qin Zheng left to pursue Qin Wentian, in order to not offend the Qin clan, they even intentionally delayed Luo Xinchuan, making it so that Luo Xinchuan had no way to deal with Qin Zheng. Such a long period of time was more than enough. But now, they were told that Qin Zheng had died, and the Qin clan sent their army to Luotian city. On the Luotian mountain, the calmness of the past had completely disappeared. Their Luotian clan had just experienced a huge commotion. The internal struggle for authority had finally concluded and the clan leader, Luo Xinchuan, was eliminated. But because of this, Luo Xinchuan left and the Luotian clan suffered a loss. Right now, the strength of the Luotian clan grew increasingly weaker. And at this moment, they received the news that the Qin clan sent their army. How did they feel? However, they didn't understand. How did Qin Zheng die? He went to pursue Qin Wentian. How could he die? Could it be that Qin Zheng failed to finish off Qin Wentian after such a long period of time? Could it be that Luo Xinchuan, who left the Luotian clan, finally arrived and killed Qin Zheng? As for Qin Wentian killing Qin Zheng, the Luotian clan didn't dare to think about it. In the entire supreme ancient immortal realms, no one would dare to have such a bold thought. Under heavenly deities, all lives were like ants. Heavenly deities were lofty and lofty divinities. No matter how powerful world overlords were, they were no different from mortals in front of heavenly deities. How could they kill heavenly deities? Such a thought wouldn't even appear in the minds of anyone. After the Luotian clan learned of this, their reaction was very fast. They immediately released news stating that Qin Zheng's death had absolutely nothing to do with the Luotian clan. Their Luotian clan didn't interfere with Qin Zheng's capture of Qin Wentian. and allowed them to leave. Also, after they left, the Luoshan clan held a succession ceremony. Luoshan Chuan stepped down from his position as the clan leader, allowing Luoshan Mu to take over. After this news was released, the experts from the Qin clan who were heading to the Luoshan clan naturally heard it. However, they didn't stop and continued to head towards Luo City. The various peak powers all had different reactions. The majority of them were watching the show, gloating in the misfortune of the Luoshan clan. As for the Divine Ox clan, who was in the eye of the storm, they were all filled with excitement. In the desolate region, the Luoshan clan had always been the strongest among the three hegemonic powers. It was only until the conflict between them and the Qin clan did they show signs of weakening. But even so, the Luoshan clan was still very strong and very arrogant. The people of the Luoshan clan had always looked down on the Divine Ox clan, and there was some grudge between them. Right now, the Luoshan clan experienced a huge change again. The powerful Luoshan Chuan was actually forced to abdicate his position as the clan leader. Although they didn't personally experience this, they could all imagine what might have happened back then. Luoshan Chuan would definitely have to leave the Luoshan clan. He had no way to continue staying here. In addition, the Qin clan was about to send their troops over. The Divine Ox clan soon made a decision and sent their experts to the Luoshan mountain, preparing to join in the fun. If there was a chance to cause the Luoshan clan to decline, they would naturally be extremely happy. Today, the airspace above Luo City was covered by a layer of dark clouds. All of a sudden, heavenly might descended, enveloping the vast Luo City. This was divine might. Everyone in the city felt their hearts trembling. The city they were staying in was the main city of the Luoshan clan. Through countless years, no one dared to provoke them like this. But today, the Qin clan had arriving under the watchful eyes of the supreme ancient immortal realms. After that, another shocking might descended. Experts from another power arrived. The experts from the Divine Ox clan arrived in the airspace above Luo City. Other than this, there were also experts from the various hegemonic powers in the dark. They came here to watch the show. On the Luoshan mountain, the people of the Luoshan clan all felt a stifling pressure. At the same time, Luoshan Chuan and the others arrived at the Qin clan of the Heaven region. Because they had been rushing over, they didn't pay attention to what was happening in the outside world. They only received news after they entered the Heaven region that Qin Zhong didn't return to the Qin clan. He had died in the desolate region. When they received this news, their hearts violently pounded. What happened after Qin Zhong and Qin Wentian left? Chapter 1863. At that time, Luoshan Chuan and the others found the battlefield where Qin Zhong and Qin Wentian fought. There were remnants of heavenly Dao might there, and it was undoubtedly Qin Zhong. However, they didn't manage to find Qin Wentian. Hence, they naturally thought that Qin Wentian was brought away by Qin Zhong. This was why they rushed to the Heaven region through the night. But when they arrived there, they received a shocking news. Qin Zhong died in the desolate region, and the experts of the Qin clan attacked the Luoshan clan. What was going on exactly? Who was the one who killed Qin Zhong? Where was Qin Wentian now? Later, are you still unable to contact him? Luoshan Chuan asked Luoshan Lei. Luoshan Lei has been trying to contact Qin Wentian through her messaging crystal, but there was no reply. Luoshan Lei shook her head. She was very worried about her elder brother. Qin Zhong had died. Where did her elder brother go? Clan leader, what about the Luoshan clan? Some of the experts from the Luoshan clan glanced at Luoshan Chuan, wanting to say something but hesitating. Luoshan Chuan sighed. A heavenly deity from the Qin clan died in the desolate region. Although Luoshan Mu has already released news saying that this had nothing to do with the Luoshan clan, the death of a heavenly deity caused the Qin clan to be infuriated. Even if the Luoshan clan knows that this has nothing to do with the death of a heavenly deity, the Qin clan wouldn't give up so easily. Luoshan Mu has brought a calamity upon the Luoshan clan. The Qin clan was informed by Luoshan Mu, causing Qin Zhong to head there. Now they lured the wolf into the house. Who could be blamed? Right now, he could only pray in his heart that the Luoshan clan wouldn't suffer too heavy a loss because of this. Even if he rushed back now, it would already be too late. Luoshan Mu's heart is evil. He would rather cause internal strife in the Luotian clan to seize power. Clan leader, why don't you establish another faction and summon the people of the Luotian clan to submit to you? I believe that after this calamity, there would surely be people who would respond. An expert at the side suggested. If I continue to divide the strength of the Luotian clan, the Luotian clan would surely face an even greater calamity. Luotian Chuan's expression dimmed. The experts at the side also sighed in their hearts when they heard this, hoping that the Luotian clan would be able to survive this calamity. After all, even if the Luotian clan left, it was still their clan. The people there shared the same bloodline as them. The people they hated were merely a portion. The vast majority were ordinary clansmen. Just like what Luotian Chuan has guessed, the Qin clan lost a heavenly deity. Even if they already believed the news Luotian Mu sent out, that the Luotian clan didn't do it, so what of it? Their army has already arrived. How could they retreat just like that? How would the people of the world view the Qin clan? In the future, wouldn't everyone dare to offend their Qin clan? At this moment, the Luotian clan had to give an explanation. In the airspace above Luo City, divine might descended. On the Luotian mountain, this feeling was even more obvious. In the airspace above the Luotian mountain, a group of figures descended from the heavens. The person in the lead was none other than the clan leader of the Qin clan, Qin Zheng. After Qin Zheng took control of the Qin clan, it was very rare for him to appear in public. However, there was no need to doubt his strength. When he was young, he was already appointed as the future clan leader of the Qin clan. Back then, only Qin Yuanfeng could faintly be on par with him. But in the end, everything of Qin Yuanfeng was stripped away and transferred to Qin Zheng. Luotian Mu and the other experts appeared. He glanced at Qin Zheng and spoke, "Since the Divine Ox clan has arrived, just come out." "Haha, we are here to take a look. Congratulations to Brother Mu on becoming the clan leader of the Luotian clan." A hoarse voice rang out. In the air, another group of experts descended. These people were all muscular, exuding an imposing aura. These were none other than the experts from the Divine Ox clan. Among them, there were several heavenly deities. The Ox Chieftain of the Divine Ox clan personally came here. Many thanks to the Ox Chieftain. Luotian Mu's voice was somewhat cold. This Ox Chieftain personally came here. Clearly, he didn't come with good intentions. It was more appropriate to say that he wanted to add insult to injury. "Luotian Mu, my Qin clan's Qin Zheng came to the Luotian clan because of your appointment. However, he died here. What do you plan to do?" Qin Zheng calmly asked, not giving any face to Luotian Mu, directly stating that Luotian Mu came here because of his appointment. After all, no matter what, the Qin clan and Luotian clan had a grudge between them. Yet he actually colluded with his enemy, the Qin clan, to deal with Luotian Chuan and Qin Wentian. Before this, I've already released the news. I'm sure the Qin clan should have received the news as well. Qin Zheng's death definitely has nothing to do with my Luotian clan. At that time, Qin Zheng went to chase after the traitor's son, Qin Wentian. Luotian Chuan wanted to leave, but our Luotian clan didn't wish to interfere in the internal affairs of the Qin clan. Hence, we left Luotian Chuan behind and asked him to abdicate and pay respects to our ancestors. At that time, all the experts of our Luotian clan were present. Not a single heavenly deity left. Qin Zheng's death is impossible to have anything to do with our Luotian clan. Luotian Mu replied. Now that Qin Zheng has already died, there's no proof. Do you think that whatever you say is true? No matter what, after Qin Zheng came to the Luotian clan, he died. Who would believe you if you say that this has nothing to do with the Luotian clan? Qin Zheng domineeringly spoke. Luotian Mu, the Luotian clan has to give my Qin clan an explanation for this matter. If not, bear the consequences yourself. This was already an undisguised threat. The expressions of the people from the Luotian clan all turned unsightly. No matter what, they were a hegemonic power in the supreme ancient immortal realms. Also, they had once fought against the Qin clan. Although they were weaker, they had never been threatened like this before. The Qin clan actually sent their troops to the Luotian mountain, pressuring them like this. I invited Qin Zheng here to capture the traitor's son, because I wanted to mend our relationship with the Qin clan. Clan leader Qin should understand my intentions. I also didn't wish for Qin Zhong's death, but this definitely wasn't done by my Luoshan clan. Right now, what explanation does clan leader Qin want? Luoshan Mu spoke. The people of the Luoshan clan felt some disappointment when they heard his voice. Compared to Qin Zhang's tyranny, Luoshan Mu's aura was clearly weaker. It was like he was under someone else. This was simply a humiliation to the Luoshan clan. Right now, as the clan leader of the Luoshan clan, Luoshan Mu didn't merely represent himself. He represented the entire Luoshan clan as well. Since Luoshan Mu said this, in that case, if you can do what I want to say next, I will believe you. Qin Zhong spoke. Qin clan leader, please speak. Luoshan Mu replied. Qin Zhong is a heavenly deity of my Qin clan. He died after he descended to the Luoshan clan. However, Luoshan Mu, you said that the Luoshan clan wants to be on good terms with my Qin clan. In that case, I want a heavenly deity from the Luoshan clan to come to my Qin clan as a guest for cultivation. After the Luoshan clan completes 2 matters, I will let them return. The first matter is to get Luoshan Chuan to come to my Qin clan and give me an explanation. I suspect that this matter has something to do with him. The second matter is to bring the traitor's son, Qin Wentian, back to my Qin clan. If he's alive, I want to see him. If he's dead, I want to see his corpse. Qin Zhong spoke. The experts of the Luoshan clan were all enraged when they heard this. Although it sounded nice to say that Qin Zhong was a guest, in truth he was a hostage. They wanted the Luoshan clan to do things for them. Using Luoshan Chuan to exchange for a heavenly deity and Qin Wentian to exchange for a world overlord of the Luoshan clan. This was simply a humiliation to the Luoshan clan. If they agreed to such conditions, the Luoshan clan would surely become the laughingstock of the world. But if they didn't agree, the Qin clan most probably wouldn't let this matter rest. There were also experts from the Divine Ox clan glaring at them like tigers eyeing their prey. A heavenly deity and 10 world overlords. This was simply ruthlessly weakening the strength of the Luoshan clan. The Qin clan also didn't wish to start a war directly. Although they could win, their Qin clan would also suffer great losses. Hence they made such a request, slowly eating away at the Luoshan clan. Although the heavenly deity and 10 world overlords were on the surface, they still wanted the Luoshan clan to deal with Luoshan Chuan and Qin Wentian. What would happen then? The Ox chieftain of the Divine Ox clan stared at Qin Zhong, as expected of a formidable character of the Qin clan. Today, even if the Luoshan clan didn't want to agree, they had no choice but to do so. But once they agreed, not only would the Luoshan clan's strength weaken, the cracks in their internal structure would grow even wider. They wouldn't be far away from destruction. After all, the Luoshan clan had just experienced a power struggle. Isn't clan leader Qin's condition a little too overboard? Luoshan Mu's expression was extremely unsightly to behold. You are the one who said that you want to form good relations with my Qin clan. I invited a few friends from the Luoshan clan to be guests, but they all rejected. In that case, I can only suspect that Qin Zhong's death was caused by your Luoshan clan. Since this is the case, we can only fight. Qin Zhong spoke, releasing his might. In the air, waves of heavenly might enveloped the Luoshan mountain. It was like as long as Luoshan Mu said the word no, the Qin clan would start a war. Luoshan Mu's expression was extremely ugly to behold. The first major thing he did after taking office was the arrival of the Qin clan. Could it be that he had to agree to such a humiliating condition? But if he didn't agree, would the Luoshan clan be able to bear the consequences? Uncle Han, are you willing to head to the Qin clan as a guest? Luoshan Mu turned his head and spoke to an old man not far away from him. This old man was a heavenly deity of the Luoshan clan, and was once a supporter of Luoshan Chuan. When the old man heard Luoshan Mu's words, a cold light flashed in his eyes. Wanting him to head to the Qin clan? Being a guest was nothing but a lie. If he went to the Qin clan, most probably he would be at the mercy of the Qin clan. His life and death would be in the hands of the Qin clan. Uncle Han, my Luoshan clan will definitely take good care of Auntie and my younger siblings. Also, they won't be among the world overlords heading to the Qin clan. Luoshan Mu transmitted his voice when he saw the coldness in the old man's eyes. This sentence contained a hint of threat in it. The old man was so angry that he clenched his fists tightly. Luo Shenchuan spoke on the surface. Uncle Han, if you are willing to head there, the Luoshan clan will definitely not forget the things you have done for the Luoshan clan. Luoshan Mu very good. Luoshan Han coldly spoke. How hateful. Before this, he actually chose to support Luoshan Mu. But now he was betrayed by Luoshan Mu. I'm willing to head there. Luoshan Han spoke. But when the people of the Luoshan clan heard his tone, they knew that he was extremely unwilling. Many thanks for Uncle Han's consideration of the bigger picture. Luoshan Mu nodded. After that, he named another 10 world overlords. These were all people who supported Luoshan Chuan in the past. They were all incomparably enraged, and there were even some who directly cursed at Luoshan Chuan. But after Luoshan Mu sent a few voice transmissions to threaten them, they all shut their mouths. They knew that they had to go regardless of whether they wanted to or not. Since the Luoshan clan is willing to form a good relationship with my Qin clan, I will trust the Luoshan clan this once. As for the two matters, I hope the Luoshan clan will do their best. Qin Zheng spoke. A commanding tone could be heard in his voice. My Luoshan clan will naturally do our best. Luoshan Mu felt incomparably humiliated in his heart. At this moment the Ox chieftain laughed. Luoshan clan leader has ascended to the Luoshan clan. This is such a joyous matter. How can we not congratulate you? My Divine Ox clan is also willing to form a marriage alliance with the Luoshan clan. The supreme character of my Divine Ox clan, Devilox, has always had a good impression of the females of the Luoshan clan, and wishes to marry a few beauties of the Luoshan clan. I wonder if Luoshan clan leader would agree? Chapter 1864. As the sound of the Ox chieftain's voice faded, the people of the Luoshan clan all had looks of rage in their eyes. Although their Luoshan clan was weaker than the Qin clan, even if their clan leader was forced to leave, the Divine Ox clan wouldn't have the right to behave atrociously. But now, the Divine Ox clan was not only behaving atrociously, they were also humiliating them. It was one thing if Devilox wanted to marry. However, the Ox chieftain of the Divine Ox clan said that he wanted to marry several beauties of the Luoshan clan. To put it nicely, it was a marriage alliance. But to put it bluntly, this vile beast from the Divine Ox clan wanted to use the bloodline of their Luoshan clan to breed. This was simply an extraordinary humiliation. Scram! An old man from the Luoshan clan couldn't help but roar in anger. The Ox chieftain stared at that old man and laughed uproariously, causing the space to tremble. Luoshan Mu stared at him and coldly spoke. My Luoshan clan has no intentions of marriage alliance. A heavenly deity from the Qin clan came to the Luoshan clan and died. But the Divine Ox clan was simply taking advantage of the situation to rob them. I've heard of Devilox from the Divine Ox clan before. I heard that he has a Dao bone and isn't bad. Since you can increase the strength of your descendants through marriage, Luoshan Mu, why must you be so distant? I think this matter can be settled. At this moment, Qin Zheng calmly spoke, his words causing the gazes of countless people in the Luoshan clan to stiffen. Luoshan Mu's expression grew increasingly unsightly. When the Qin clan and Divine Ox clan arrived together, he was already worried that they would join forces. But now, it seems like the Qin clan and Divine Ox clan have reached an agreement. The Qin clan had the intention to support the Divine Ox clan to fight against the Luoshan clan. Weakening the Luoshan clan without fighting was undoubtedly the result the Qin clan wanted to see the most. Hence, while weakening the Luoshan clan, they would also support an opponent in the desolate region. The Ox chieftain laughed loudly. Many thanks for clan leader Qin's kind words. Luoshan Mu, today I brought along my sincerity. Most probably you have never seen so many heavenly deities of the Divine Ox clan gathered here, right? This so-called sincerity was naturally a threat. The heavenly deities of the Divine Ox clan were all here. Vile beast! An old man from the Luoshan clan coldly spoke. What did you say? The laughter of the Ox chieftain abruptly ceased. He stomped down in the air as heavenly might bore down, causing the entire Luoshan mountain to tremble. Clan leader, we absolutely cannot agree to this. Another person spoke, ignoring the anger of the ox chieftain. This was simply intolerable. If there's no way to form a marriage alliance, I have no objections. But that person earlier insulted our chieftain. Hand him over to my divine ox clan. Another heavenly deity from the divine ox clan pointed to the old man who called him a vile creature. That old man was a heavenly deity. Are you not evil creatures? The old man said coldly. Qin chieftain, you have also heard it. What do you think about this matter? The ox chieftain stared at Qin. If the two families are in-laws, I believe the chief won't fuss over such a small matter. Qin said lightly. It's fine if we become in-laws. The ox chieftain nodded. But what if the Luo god clan doesn't agree? As the chieftain, I was humiliated. For this matter, the Luoshan clan naturally has to give an explanation. Just bring the person who humiliated me back to the divine ox clan. Qin spoke. The two of them echoed each other. In that case, I will have to trouble clan leader Qin to administer justice today. The ox chieftain laughed loudly. After that, the experts from the divine ox clan unleashed their might, enveloping the Luoshan clan. Clan leader, we would rather fight than be humiliated. Whoever wants to destroy our Luoshan clan, they will also have to pay a heavy price. That old man coldly spoke. You have guts, as expected of a heavenly deity from the Luoshan clan. In the past, there have been many battles between our Qin clan and the Luoshan clan, but there has never been a full-scale war. Today, we might really have a chance to experience the full strength of the Luoshan clan. Qin spoke. The experts from the Qin clan released their might. With the pressure from the two peak powers, it would be a lie if the people from the Luoshan clan didn't panic. If a war broke out, although the heavenly deities would have a chance to flee and deal with the Qin clan and divine ox clan, their Luoshan clan might be annihilated. Chieftain, how many people do you want? Luoshan asked, his words causing many experts from the Luoshan clan to turn to him. 10, just like the Qin clan. Initially, Devilox was interested in Luoshan Lei, but sadly, she isn't in the Luoshan clan anymore. If not, I would have chosen her. Naturally, if the Luoshan clan is willing to allow Luoshan Meng to marry into our divine ox clan, I can only accept 3 people. You can choose the other 2 as long as they are beautiful world overlords. The ox chieftain laughed. Among the crowd, there was an extremely beautiful young woman whose beauty wasn't inferior to Luoshan Lei. She was a descendant of a heavenly deity from the Luoshan clan, and had outstanding talent. Now her cultivation base was at the world overlord realm, and she was definitely one of the most outstanding among the younger generations of the Luoshan clan. Luoshan Meng's expression instantly turned pale. But coincidentally, her grandfather was none other than the heavenly deity, who angrily reprimanded the ox chieftain earlier. He coldly spoke, I won't agree. Fine then, you can only head to my divine ox clan. I won't mention the matter of marriage again. The ox chieftain coldly spoke. Luoshan Meng, you have also seen the situation. Your grandfather is a heavenly deity. Are you willing to let your grandfather be sacrificed, or are you willing to marry into the Luoshan clan? Luoshan transmitted his voice to Luoshan Meng. Luoshan Meng's countenance turned even paler. Staring at the experts in the air, she felt some despair. She didn't expect that misfortune would befall her. I will definitely not agree. At this moment, her grandfather spoke with decisiveness that could sever iron. His aura gushed forth as though he wanted to fight. Quickly decide. If your grandfather wants to fight, the Qin clan and divine ox clan will suppress him. Only death awaits him. Luoshan transmitted his voice again. Tears flowed down Luoshan Meng's eyes. I agree to marry into the Luoshan clan. Meng. The old man glanced at his granddaughter. Grandfather, I will have to marry into the Luoshan clan sooner or later. I'm fine. Luoshan Meng softly spoke. Since Luoshan Meng agrees, this matter is decided then. I will choose 2 more people. Will the ox chieftain be satisfied? Luoshan coldly spoke. Good. 3 months later, I will send people over to fetch the bride. I will definitely let them enjoy boundless glory. The ox chieftain laughed uproariously. It was like he could already imagine the scene in the future. However, the glory would only belong to the Divine Ox clan. What would be left for the Luotian clan would be endless humiliation. Luo Shenmu's eyes were cold to the extreme. He naturally knew how humiliating the matter today was. However, if a war started, it would lead to the annihilation of the Luotian clan. After so many years of fighting for authority, he finally became the clan leader. Could it be that the Luotian clan would be annihilated in his hands? News of what happened on the Luotian mountain soon circulated through the supreme ancient immortal realms. The Luotian clan, who just ended their struggle for authority, became a laughing stock. However, the people from the peak powers understood that under the Qin clan's coercion, the Luotian clan had no choice but to endure this humiliation. The Qin clan gambled that Luo Shenmu wouldn't dare to start a war, and would suffer the calamity of annihilation. Using Qin Zhong's death, the Qin clan ruthlessly stabbed the Luotian clan in the back. Not only did they bring away a heavenly deity and 10 world overlords, they even created a powerful enemy for them, the Divine Ox clan. The Divine Ox clan also obtained what they wanted: the Luotian clan's bloodline, as well as the prestige they wanted. Obtaining the women of the Luotian clan was something the Divine Ox clan had always wanted to do. Now they finally succeeded. The next step was to dominate the desolate region while the Luotian clan was weakened. After the Luotian clan compromised, there were rumors of internal conflicts erupting within the Luotian clan. Some of the elders left in anger. They couldn't accept everything and broke off relations with Luo Shenmu, saying that they wanted to leave the Luotian clan. Luo Shenmu was extremely enraged, and Luo Shenmeng was even controlled by him. In any case, after Luo Shenmu took control of the Luotian clan, the entire Luotian clan fell into chaos and there were clear signs of decline. Everyone sighed. The #1 aristocrat clan in the desolate region was about to collapse. After Luo Shenchuan learned of what happened in the Luotian clan, he didn't say a word. However, Luo Shenyu could sense the anger in his father's heart. That was his clan, but now, they suffered such humiliation. They had fought against the Qin clan for many years, and although their strength was inferior to the Qin clan, they had never suffered such humiliation before. In addition, even the Divine Ox clan dared to ride on their heads. Clan leader. Finally, someone contacted Luo Shenchuan through his messaging crystal. I'm no longer the clan leader of the Luotian clan. Luo Shenchuan called out. The person who transmitted his voice to him was none other than Luo Shenmeng's grandfather. Can you save Meng-er? Our Luotian clan doesn't want to suffer such humiliation. Can you return to the Luotian clan? The other party asked. Luo Shenchuan fell silent. After that he replied, I've given up my position as the clan leader. This is the will of the entire Luotian clan. If I return now, there's no meaning at all. Are you going to start a civil war with Luo Shenmu again? In that case, I'm willing to leave. There are several elders who are regretting their decision. They are willing to support you, but they are willing to establish their own clan. The Luotian clan on the Luotian mountain is no longer the Luotian clan of the past. That old man sighed. Luo Shenchuan was speechless for a long time. After that, another old man contacted Luo Shenchuan and expressed his willingness to leave the Luotian clan, wanting him to establish his own clan. Luo Shenchuan's heart wavered. Right now, even if he didn't wish to split the Luotian clan apart, the internal factions of the Luotian clan were already starting to fracture. The hearts of the people weren't united, and they were faintly like a plate of loose sand. Although Luo Shenchuan's heart wavered, he still hesitated and didn't agree. Right now, the most important thing for him was to find his grandson, Qin Wentian. Where was he now exactly? Why did Qin Zhong die in the desolate region? It was said that there were experts from the Qin clan who didn't leave the desolate region, and were still investigating this matter. In the desolate region, there were 3 hegemonic powers: the Luotian clan, Divine Ox clan, and Demon God Mountain. The Demon God Mountain was a country of demonic beasts, a paradise for demonic beasts. There were saint beasts from all the demonic beasts here, and they formed an alliance to resist the Divine Ox clan. Right now, they were already standing at the peak of the desolate region, becoming one of the 3 hegemonic powers. Also, they naturally knew about the major events that happened recently in the desolate region. On the Demon God Mountain, Within an ancient demon god palace, Qin Wentian's body quietly lay there. Little rascal wasn't here, it was brought to another place. The young man and woman who brought Qin Wentian here earlier were all staring at Qin Wentian with interest. I didn't expect that the person we unintentionally brought back would actually be the source of all the changes in the desolate region. Qin Wentian is the son of the supreme character of the Qin clan, Qin Yuanfeng. He's also the grandson of the original clan leader of the Luoshan clan, Luoshan Chuan. If we hand him over now, it would definitely cause a huge commotion. Most probably, both the Qin clan and Luoshan clan would be searching for him as well as Luoshan Chuan. That handsome young man laughed. How interesting. You better not have such thoughts. Right now, the heaven-devouring beast beside him is something that the heaven-devouring old ancestor likes very much, treating it like a treasure. Maybe its status might even surpass you. The woman at the side coldly spoke. The man laughed. That's true. In addition, didn't you notice something even more interesting? The heavenly deity of the Qin clan, Qin Zhong, has fallen and the place we found him should be the battlefield. Could it be that Qin Zhong was killed by him? Chapter 1865. 2 months have passed since the death of Qin Zhong. During this period of time, the news of the Luoshan clan in the desolate region circulated through the supreme ancient immortal realms. It has been a very long time since such a major incident occurred in the supreme ancient immortal realms. 3 hegemonic powers appeared together, the Qin clan, Divine Ox clan and Luoshan clan. A deity-level war almost erupted, but the Luoshan clan was willing to accept humiliation. After this matter, the Qin clan and Luoshan clan started to search for traces of Qin Wentian, continuing to investigate the cause of Qin Zhong's death. Luoshan Chuan also returned to the desolate region, similarly searching for Qin Wentian. However, they would never have imagined that Qin Wentian would actually be in another hegemonic power in the desolate region, the Demon God Mountain. Today Qin Wentian woke up. The young man and woman who brought him here back then appeared before him, staring at him with interest. This place is the Demon God Mountain? Qin Wentian asked. Clearly, he wasn't completely unconscious and was still conscious. He actually knew that this place was the Demon God Mountain. Qin Wentian. The young man smiled. Qin Zhong, were you the one who killed him? Clearly, he was very curious about this point. Right now, the Qin clan was still investigating the death of a heavenly deity from the Qin clan. But there was no news at all. Right now, the only person who could solve this mystery was Qin Wentian. Sir, what do you think? Qin Wentian smiled. He knew that he was on the Demon God Mountain, but now he didn't know if the Demon God Mountain's intentions were good or bad. After all, his understanding of the Demon God Mountain was limited to the ancient records in the Heavenly Tao Library. There were 5 demon ancestors on the Demon God Mountain, leading the myriad of demons. There were many demonic races here, and whoever could break through to the Demon God realm would be bestowed the title of Demon Ancestor. In the world of demons, strength was everything. When they fought against the Divine Ox clan, they didn't intentionally suppress the other races. Instead, they supported each other, hoping that more demon ancestors would appear on the Demon God Mountain. After all, when they first formed an alliance, it was because of the Divine Ox clan. Since he has awakened, let's report this to the demon ancestors. The young man smiled and glanced at Qin Wentian before leaving Qin Wentian alone here. Qin Wentian stood up and walked out of the ancient palace. He discovered that he was now standing on an extremely tall ancient mountain. Before him, there were groups of demonic beasts everywhere. Even for the rarely seen saint beasts, they weren't rare at all. Because this place was the Demon God Mountain, a paradise for demonic beasts in the supreme ancient immortal realms. Qin Wentian spat out a mouthful of turbid air, feeling extremely refreshed. Luckily, he cultivated the undying scripture as well as the undying law energy in his body, allowing him to recover so quickly. After the battle with Qin Zhong, he truly understood how terrifying heavenly deities are. Before that, heavenly deities only existed in his imagination. But after that battle, he truly experienced the strength of heavenly deities. He was extremely lucky to have survived that battle. To him, he had benefited a lot from it. In the future, when he tried to comprehend the heavenly god Tao, the comprehension he gained from that battle would definitely be of great use. Later, Qin Wentian took out his messaging crystal. The first thing he did was to inform Lame of his news. Most probably, she was very worried about him. Elder brother. A voice filled with joy and excitement rang out from the other side. Elder brother. It's me, Lei. Qin Wentian could hear the sound of sobbing. Most probably, this lass was so agitated that she was crying. Most probably, she thought that he had died. That's great. Elder brother, you are still alive. Luoshan Lei emotionally spoke. Elder brother, where are you now? Grandpa and I will go and look for you. I'm on the Demon God Mountain. Qin Wentian replied. Demon God Mountain? Luoshan Lei started. Her elder brother was actually in a peak power of the desolate region, the Demon God Mountain. Could it be that the Demon God Mountain killed Qin Zhong? But how could this be possible? Back then when Qin Zhong pursued me, I only managed to escape due to luck. I killed Qin Zhong and was heavily injured. After that, I was brought here by the experts of the Demon God Mountain. Although I still don't know if the Demon God Mountain has good intentions or evil intentions, I'm guessing that they wouldn't harm me. If not, they would have long captured me. Qin Wentian transmitted his voiceover. The Demon God Mountain didn't control him at all. Elder brother, you actually killed Qin Zhong. That was a heavenly deity. Luoshan Lei's heart trembled. She simply didn't dare to believe this. However, her elder brother would definitely not lie to her. Qin Zhong's death wasn't as mysterious as everyone thought. It was very simple. Qin Zhong was killed by her elder brother, Qin Wentian. If it wasn't for him being careless and wanting to capture me alive, the one who died would be me. Qin Wentian thought back to that battle. Indeed, he was lucky. He still didn't have the strength to kill a heavenly deity. Oh yeah, later, what happened after that? Are grandfather and you doing well? Qin Wentian asked. After Luoshan Lei heard Qin Wentian's question, she narrated everything that happened in the Luoshan clan. After Qin Wentian heard it, he felt an indescribable feeling in his heart. His grandfather actually gave up the position of the Luoshan clan leader for his sake, and directly headed to the Heaven region. This was clearly because of the Qin clan. As for the Qin clan, they actually joined forces with the Divine Ox clan. Luoshan Mu cowered from battle, causing the Luoshan clan to suffer humiliation. In fact, he even made use of this opportunity to suppress those who supported his grandfather in the past. Regardless of the heavenly deity that the Qin clan brought away, or the 10 world overlords, all of them were followers of his grandfather in the past. Luoshan Meng's grandfather was one of them as well. Luoshan Lei also told Qin Wentian that right now, the Luoshan clan was in a state of internal turmoil, and was on the verge of splitting apart. Many experts had left. Just when Qin Wentian was sighing in his heart, the young man and woman returned. Qin Wentian then ended his conversation with Luoshan Lei. The demon sovereign wishes to see you. The young man calmly spoke. Qin Wentian nodded. After that, he followed the two of them, and headed towards one of the 5 tallest ancient peaks on the Demon God Mountain, arriving at a true Demon God Hall. In the ancient hall, a demon sovereign could be seen sitting there. Although he was in human form, his body was still gigantic. His eyes gleamed with a terrifying light, and he exuded an unexcelled might. This is the heaven-devouring demon sovereign. The cold voice of the young woman rang out. The true form of the heaven-devouring demon sovereign was none other than a heaven-devouring beast, one of the 5 demon sovereigns on the Demon God Mountain. Right now, Little Rascal was actually sitting beside the throne of the heaven-devouring demon sovereign. He blinked at Qin Wentian and transmitted his voiceover. Wentian, you have finally awakened. Bastard, you really know how to enjoy life. You actually didn't go and take care of me after you woke up? Qin Wentian transmitted his voiceover. The demon sovereign instructed them to take care of you, and wanted me to stay by his side. Little Rascal replied. Qin Wentian silently rejoiced in his heart. Heaven-devouring beasts were originally extremely rare. Now that there was a demon sovereign who regarded Little Rascal highly, he was naturally happy. Qin Zhong was killed by you? The heaven-devouring demon sovereign stared at Qin Wentian as he asked. I was just lucky. Qin Wentian glanced at little rascal. This fellow should have told the heaven-devouring demon sovereign about this. Hence he didn't hide anything. Since the heaven-devouring demon sovereign liked little rascal, he naturally wouldn't have any ill intentions towards him. Even if you were lucky, being able to kill a heavenly deity with your world overlord cultivation base is still a sign of your supreme talent. However, right now, everyone in the outside world is searching for you. Qin clan, Luotian clan, what are your plans? The heaven-devouring demon sovereign asked. I haven't thought it through yet. Qin Wentian honestly replied. I told this little fellow to stay behind and follow me. He said that he wants to follow you. Why don't you stay on the Demon God Mountain as well? There are only a few people who know of your identity. I'll tell them to keep this a secret and not leak it out. How about it? The heaven-devouring demon sovereign spoke. Qin Wentian contemplated for a moment. It wasn't a bad idea to cultivate on the Demon God Mountain. Right now, he needed to consolidate his foundation and attempt to break through to the next realm. Right. Qin Wentian nodded in agreement. You can leave first. The heaven-devouring demon sovereign spoke. Qin Wentian bade farewell and left. The young man and woman beside him stared at Qin Wentian. Was Qin Zhong really killed by him alone? How's your recovery? The young man asked. Is something the matter? Qin Wentian smiled. Nothing much. I just wish to spar with you. I want to experience the strength of someone who can kill heavenly deities. The eyes of the young man gleamed with excitement. When there's a chance, I will spar with you again. Qin Wentian smiled. Sure. The eyes of the young man gleamed with light. I'm a sky rock under the Kuan sovereign. I'll remember that. Qin Wentian nodded. The Kuan sovereign's true form was that of a Kuanpeng, able to soar above the 9 heavens. The young man's true form was a rock. Although he was a subordinate of the Kuan sovereign, the 5 demon sovereigns of the Demon God Mountain were the leaders of the Demon God Mountain, and could command them. The sky rock's silhouette flashed as a pair of wings appeared on his back. Resplendent light shone as he vanished in an instant. The young woman brought Qin Wentian back to the place he was resting at earlier. You can continue to stay here. Right, many thanks. Qin Wentian nodded. After that, the young woman departed. Qin Wentian stared at the surroundings. This region should be under the control of the heaven-devouring demon sovereign. Who dares to come to my Demon God Mountain? At this moment, the voice of the heaven-devouring demon sovereign drifted over from the demon sovereign peak. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed as he turned his gaze over. After that, a silhouette descended from the skies, directly landing there. When Qin Wentian saw that silhouette, his eyes gleamed with sharpness. After which, his silhouette flickered as he sped over. Outside the Demon God Palace, Qin Wentian returned. That figure who just arrived was currently in a confrontation with the heaven-devouring demon sovereign. The heaven-devouring demon sovereign was extremely unhappy as he spoke. Luotian Chuan, aren't you being a little rude by barging into my Demon God Mountain like this? So it turned out that this person was none other than Luotian Chuan, who just returned to the desolate region. After he learned of the voice transmission between Qin Wentian and Luotian Lei, he came to the Demon God Mountain alone. Grandfather. Qin Wentian called out. Luotian Chuan turned his head and nodded to Qin Wentian. He had been worried for many days. Seeing that Qin Wentian was safe, his expression was as calm as ever. After that, he spoke to the heaven-devouring demon sovereign. I'm here to receive him. Sorry for the disturbance. Luotian Chuan, aren't you being a little too rude by barging into my Demon God Mountain? Do you think that a simple disturbance is enough? Another voice rang out. In the air, a figure descended with extreme speed. A pair of gigantic wings could be seen on his back, blotting out the sun, like the Lord of the 9 heavens. It was none other than the Kuan sovereign. Senior, my grandfather is only worried about me. He has no ill intentions. I hope that seniors can forgive him. Qin Wentian spoke. He wasn't worried about Luotian Chuan's safety. As the clan leader of the Luotian clan, Luotian Chuan would naturally be able to retreat safely. However, he didn't wish for Luo Shenchuan to have a conflict with the demon god mountain again. Chapter 1866. After Qin Wentian spoke, he glanced at Luo Shenchuan. Grandfather, I was unconscious outside, and was brought to the demon god mountain to take care of me. The demon sovereign allowed me to settle down on the demon god mountain. I owe him a debt of gratitude. He said this because he wanted to ease the tension between them. As expected, the heaven-devouring demon sovereign's expression eased up a little when he heard Qin Wentian's words. He then spoke to Luo Shenchuan. No matter what, you are the original clan leader of the Luoshan clan. Even your grandson is more polite than you. How can you barge into the mountain like this? Luo Shenchuan was once one of the characters that stood at the peak of the desolate region. Even on the demon god mountain, the demon sovereigns wouldn't really make things difficult for him. When Luo Shenchuan was in control of the Luoshan clan, there weren't many grudges between him and the demon god mountain. At most, there would be occasional conflicts between juniors, but nothing too major happened. Many thanks to the demon sovereign for taking care of me. Please forgive me for my rudeness. Luo Shenchuan clasped his hands. After he learned of Qin Wentian's news, he rushed over here because he was worried about Qin Wentian's safety on the demon god mountain. Now that he heard Qin Wentian saying that the demon god mountain treated him pretty well, his tone naturally became more polite. Forget it, no matter what, we were once the overlords of the desolate region. Let's sit down and chat. Men, prepare the banquet. The heaven-devouring demon sovereign waved his hands. Luo Shenchuan nodded. Qin Wentian heaved a sigh of relief. Seems like there wouldn't be any more conflicts. Very swiftly, the banquet was prepared. The two demon sovereigns of the demon god mountain came to entertain Luo Shenchuan. Speaking of status, in the past, Luo Shenchuan was the clan leader of a peak power in the desolate region. His status was even higher than the demon sovereigns. Although there was some unhappiness between them before this, now that things were made clear, it was understandable. For such a minor matter, as a heavenly deity, they wouldn't be so petty. Luo Shenchuan, you have been in control of the Luoshan clan for so many years, yet you are still so impulsive. Now that you have given up, Luo Shenchuan has suffered humiliation. What are you thinking? You actually allowed Luo Shenmu to become the clan leader. That man's character is extremely sinister, and his bearing isn't good. If you were here, you wouldn't know such humiliation and would rather die. The heaven-devouring demon sovereign spoke straightforwardly. Heaven Devourer, if you were to face the pressure from the Qin clan and Divine Ox clan, what would you choose? Luo Shenchuan asked. Kill our way out. Since the Qin clan and Divine Ox clan dared to start a war, what does our demon god mountain have to fear? At most, we will be annihilated. As long as the 5 demon sovereigns escape, we will naturally avenge the deaths of our descendants. The Qin clan and Divine Ox clan can forget about peace forever. The heaven-devouring demon sovereign said bluntly. They definitely wouldn't be able to win if they fought. Hence, they would choose to kill their way out, escape, and then take revenge. Ruthless. Qin Wentian silently mused. This was the personality of the demon sovereign. However, not everyone would have the courage to face the threat of annihilation. Even for Luo Shenchuan, he might not have the courage to do so. The Divine Ox clan is truly brazen enough. In the past, they plundered the bloodlines of the various greater demons and fused with their Divine Ox clan. Yet they still didn't forget about your Luoshan clan's bloodline. Luo Shenchuan, what do you plan to do in the future? The heaven-devouring demon sovereign asked. For people at the same level, he was very direct when he spoke. Luo Shenchuan glanced at Qin Wentian. Before this, I've been searching for him, but I haven't thought of what to do. Right now, the Luoshan clan is in a state of chaos. How can I be willing to see such a situation? Why don't you join my demon god mountain? From now on, the demon god mountain will have 6 sovereigns. Haha. The heaven-devouring demon sovereign laughed. Good idea. The Kuan sovereign also laughed. Naturally, there was a hint of a joking tone in his voice. This was impossible. I can't join the demon god mountain. However, I can consider joining forces with them. Luo Shenchuan's eyes flashed. If it was in the past, Given his status as the Luotian clan leader, he naturally wouldn't say this. But now, the Luotian clan was on the verge of collapse. He wanted to do something for the Luotian clan. The eyes of the two demon sovereigns flashed as they exchanged mutual glances. In the desolate region, there has always been a tripartite balance of power. Although Luotian Chuan was no longer the Luotian clan leader, his strength was still there. In addition, he would surely have followers. If he joined forces with the demon god Mountain, the balance in the desolate region would surely be broken. They were somewhat moved. Who should we deal with? The heaven-devouring demon sovereign asked. Naturally, the Divine Ox clan. Luotian Chuan calmly spoke. If they wanted to deal with the Qin clan, the demon god Mountain would definitely not agree. The Qin clan of the heaven region was too powerful. It was impossible for the demon god Mountain to antagonize them for no reason. However, the grudge between the demon god Mountain and the Divine Ox clan had a very long history. The Divine Ox clan always had the ambition to take the demon god Mountain as their own. Luotian Chuan, you should understand that the strength of the Divine Ox clan isn't any weaker compared to the demon god Mountain. Although our demon god Mountain doesn't fear the provocation of the Divine Ox clan, if we take the initiative to start a war, it wouldn't be a good thing to the demon god Mountain. The Kuan sovereign spoke. The Qin clan and Divine Ox clan went to the Luotian Mountain and joined forces to suppress us. But in reality, did they really act? You have already seen the ending. Since they can do this, why can't we? Also, even if we join forces, I didn't say that I want the demon god Mountain to start a war against the Divine Ox clan. Luotian Chuan spoke. Haha, Luotian Chuan. What do you want to do? The heaven-devouring demon sovereign grew interested. He laughed loudly as he asked. Seems like although Luotian Chuan was no longer the Luotian clan leader, he still couldn't swallow this anger. I want to return a tooth for a tooth. Luotian Chuan coldly spoke. At the banquet, both parties discussed. Qin Wentian quietly listened. In front of the demon sovereign and his grandfather, he was only a junior. The banquet was very joyous. After it ended, the demon sovereign invited Luotian Chuan to stay on the demon god Mountain. Luotian Chuan agreed, and after that, he went to fetch Luotian Lei and the others to the demon god Mountain. Naturally, they did so in secret. The demon sovereign gave the order to seal their mouths, not allowing this news to leak out. On the demon god Mountain, the demon sovereign had absolute authority. When Luotian Yu and Luotian Lei saw that Qin Wentian was safe and sound, they naturally felt extremely emotional. When they learned that Qin Wentian single-handedly killed Qin Zhong, they felt speechless in their hearts. They were filled with anticipation for Qin Wentian's future. In addition, Luotian Yu and the others also learned of what happened at the banquet today. At night, the moonlight shone down on the demon god Mountain. Luotian Chuan stood at the edge of the ancient peak and stared into the distance. His gaze was incomparably deep. Behind him, the sound of footsteps rang out. It was Luotian Yu. He spoke in a light voice. Father, it's time for you to make your decision. Do you really think that we have to do this? Luotian Chuan asked. The Luotian clan would be destroyed sooner or later in Luotian Mu's hands. Why don't Father control a branch of the Luotian clan? We still have a chance to rise up again. In addition, if Father can allow this branch of the Luotian clan to grow stronger, in the future, all the members of the Luotian clan would submit to us, and we would be able to revive the Luotian clan. If not, how can Father watch the Luotian clan decline like this? Luotian Yu spoke. He knew his father's feelings for the Luotian clan. If he did this, it would definitely cause the Luotian clan to split into two. If they were the slightest bit careless, they might be consigned to eternal damnation. Can the Luotian clan return to its former glory? Luotian Chuan mumbled. Under his hands, the Luotian clan declined. Father, don't forget someone. Luotian Yu spoke. Who? Luotian Chuan turned his head and stared at Luotian Yu. Wentian. Luotian Yu's eyes flashed with a strange light. Father, Wentian has already displayed talent that surpasses his parents. Given time, he would definitely be able to reach the peak of the martial Dao. He was born to be enemies with the Qin clan. In his body, The blood of our Luotian clan flows. If he is strong enough, how can the Luotian clan not be revived? Luotian Chuan's eyes flashed. Seems like you are very confident in Wentian. Father, don't you think so? He killed Qin Zhong. Qin Zhong was a heavenly deity. No matter how he did it, Heaven's son Qin Dangtian shouldn't have done such a thing, right? Also, he entered the legendary place of the Tiandao Sacred Academy. At that time, all the major powers gathered, but he was the only one who managed to do it. Luotian Yu spoke. He is a gift that Qianxue brought to us. It's to repay what Qianxue has done to father and to the Luotian clan. Qianxue. When Luotian Chuan thought of his daughter, a look of longing flashed in his deep eyes. After that, the longing in his eyes gradually turned into determination. The Divine Ox clan and the Luotian clan agreed that they would send people to fetch the bride 3 months later. They would hold the marriage ceremony in a grand manner. As expected, the Divine Ox clan didn't go back on their words. The time limit of 3 months was getting closer and closer. The various major powers in the desolate region all received invitations from the Divine Ox clan, telling them that they had to participate no matter what. In the desolate region, other than the 3 hegemonic powers, there were also many other peak powers. All of them received invitations and all of them silently sighed in their hearts. The Divine Ox clan was clearly doing this intentionally. They wanted to display their might, displaying the glory of the Divine Ox clan. So what if the Luotian clan was the overlord of the desolate region? They were still humiliated by the Divine Ox clan. Even the Demon God Mountain received an invitation from the Divine Ox clan. After receiving it, the heaven-devouring demon sovereign who was in the Demon God Hall had a deep smile on his face. That ox demon from the Divine Ox clan wanted to tell the Demon God Mountain that their Divine Ox clan would dominate the desolate region in the future? This beautiful dream would definitely cause the Divine Ox clan to feel intoxicated, right? The grander the wedding ceremony was, the more the Luotian clan would lose face. Hence, compared to the liveliness of the Divine Ox clan, the Luotian clan had always been under a lot of pressure. Luotian Meng and the other 2 maidens were even restrained, not allowed to go out. They were waiting for the time limit of 3 months to arrive. That would be the day of their calamity. In addition, during this period of time, there would often be experts leaving the Luotian mountain. After that, there would be no news of them. Naturally, it was very normal for experts to leave the Luotian mountain for tempering themselves. Luotian Mu didn't mind it too much. Maybe, they didn't want to witness the wedding ceremony and witness the humiliation of the Luotian clan. Luotian Mu himself didn't want to see it either. However, Luotian Mu felt that for the sake of the entire Luotian clan, he would rather make such a sacrifice. He believed that the people of the Luotian clan would be able to understand his decision. As the time limit neared, the desolate region became even more lively compared to the past. Many people headed to the place where the Divine Ox clan was located, the Divine Ox Castle. This seemed to be a change in the hegemonic power of the desolate region. The Luotian clan fell and the Divine Ox clan rose up. The time limit of 3 months finally arrived. Chapter 1867. Today, in the Divine Ox Castle, experts were as common as the clouds. The majestic Divine Ox Castle was filled with experts from the 10,000 races. There were humans and demonic beasts. All of them came here to offer their congratulations. The Divine Ox Castle was filled with boundless magnificence. A dragon phoenix chariot departed from the Divine Ox Castle, heading towards the Luotian clan to escort the bride. Devilox of the Divine Ox Castle was currently sitting in the chariot pulled by a true dragon, exuding boundless spirit. Today he would marry the 3 maidens of the Luotian clan. Even the lofty beauties of the Luotian clan would have to prostrate themselves before him. Sadly, he didn't manage to obtain Luotian Lei. However, Luotian Meng was extremely outstanding as well. Her beauty was unparalleled, causing him to drool. In the Divine Ox Castle, countless experts stared up in the air. When they saw the troops departing from the Divine Ox Castle, they couldn't help but to sigh in their hearts. The Divine Ox clan intentionally made this wedding as grand as possible. The Ox Chieftain stood on the stairway leading to the Divine Ox Castle, and smiled as he stared up at the sky. Congratulations, Chief. Congratulations to the Divine Ox Clan for such a joyous occasion. Many experts clasped their hands to the Ox Chieftain. The Ox Chieftain had a smile on his face. Below the stairway, there were countless banquets and many of them were precious demonic meat. This caused some demonic experts to be extremely unhappy. The way the Divine Ox Clan did things was too arrogant, completely unbridled. Many thanks everyone. Please be seated and enjoy the banquet of my Divine Ox Clan. The Ox Chieftain laughed uproariously, his voice like thunder. Today was the first step for their Divine Ox Clan to dominate the desolate region. This was an extremely meaningful wedding that symbolized the decline of the Luotian clan. The Divine Ox Clan would become the strongest power in the desolate region, and the myriad of races in the desolate region would pay homage to them. The atmosphere in the Luotian clan was still as oppressive as ever. On the Luotian mountain, there were 3 maidens dressed in phoenix coronets and robes. Their clothes were extremely beautiful, exuding a sense of nobility and holiness. This was especially so for the maiden in the middle. After she dressed up, she was so beautiful that it was suffocating. Her face under the phoenix coronet was so exquisite that there were no flaws at all. However, her eyes were empty and lifeless. She had no way to imagine what fate would befall her next. She had become a sacrifice for her clan. Behind the 3 women, a group of experts appeared. They were the people who were here to escort the bride. I will go and escort them to the Divine Ox Clan. At this moment an old man spoke. This old man was an elder of the Luotian clan, a heavenly deity expert. His name was Luotian Wang, and he was once a supporter of Luotian Chuan. Uncle Wang, there's no need. Elder Qiong will escort us this time. Luotian Mu spoke. Luotian Qiong was his supporter. Luotian Mu would only feel at ease with Luotian Qiong escorting them. All right. Luotian Wang didn't argue. He nodded and arranged for some people to be part of the escort team. After that, they quietly waited on the Luotian mountain. When the dragon phoenix chariot appeared, Luotian Meng's countenance turned even paler. There weren't many people who came to send them off. In the vast Luotian clan, there were only a few people accompanying them. The atmosphere was extremely cold because the people of the Luotian clan didn't wish to see this scene. They felt humiliated. The family members of the 3 maidens were directly controlled. Devilox walked down from the dragon carriage and came before the 3 maidens. When he saw Luotian Meng's countenance, a faint smile appeared in his eyes. He was very satisfied. Many thanks, Luotian clan leader. Devilox clasped his hands to Luotian Mu. Luotian clan leader, are you not going to attend the wedding banquet at my Divine Ox Castle? I won't be going. You guys can set off first. Luotian Mu waved his hand, feeling that there was no light on his face. To him, this was also a matter of humiliation. After speaking, he turned and departed. Staring at his back, Devilox laughed. Clan leader, don't worry. I will treat the beauties of the Luotian clan well. 3 madams, please. Devilox smiled at them. After that, the 3 of them lifted their feet and walked towards the phoenix chariot. Not long after, they started their journey again. The dragon phoenix chariot flew back to the Divine Ox Castle to hold the wedding. The Luotian clan was still as cold and cheerless as ever. Over at the Divine Ox Castle, after learning that Devilox successfully brought the 3 maidens away, the Ox Chieftain was even happier. Just like what he expected, the Luotian clan didn't dare to play any tricks. This was something that the Luotian clan leader personally agreed to. Also, the Qin clan was there as a witness. Luotian Mu didn't dare to go back on his words. Devilox will be back very soon. Everyone, since this is such a joyous occasion, please enjoy yourselves to the fullest. The Ox Chieftain spoke. That's only natural. Many thanks for Chieftain's hospitality. Chieftain, come, let's toast the Divine Ox clan. Even before the guests arrived, the banquet had already started. The atmosphere was extremely lively, and the entire Divine Ox Castle was filled with people. There were countless experts from the Divine Ox clan within the castle. They were all drinking wine and eating meat in large mouthfuls, appearing extremely excited. All of them were in high spirits like they were the ones marrying beauties. Devilox is a supreme genius of my Divine Ox clan. He will definitely inherit my position and become the chieftain in the future. Everyone, what do you all think about him marrying beauties from the Luotian clan as concubines? The Ox chieftain laughed loudly, his voice like thunder. Devilox wasn't marrying a wife, he was marrying a concubine instead. The 3 beauties from the Luotian clan were all concubines, using this to belittle the Luotian clan and elevate the Divine Ox clan. Naturally, they are extremely suitable. They are a perfect match. Someone flattered. This matter will surely become a legend in the desolate region. Many people jeered. There were also some human experts silently cursing in their hearts. These people from the Divine Ox clan were truly shameless enough. This chieftain was intentionally saying this to belittle the Luotian clan, announcing the current status of their Divine Ox clan. Old Kuei Ox, are you not afraid that the wind will sprain your tongue? At this moment, an untimely voice drifted over, causing the eyes of the Ox chieftain to stiffen. The eyes of the experts from the Divine Ox clan also flashed with a ferocious light. Who dared to speak to their chieftain like this? In the air, a few silhouettes could be seen flying over. There were 5 of them, and each of them exuded a fearsome might. For a moment, the entire space was suffocated. Countless people inclined their heads and stared at the 5 of them as their hearts pounded. Demon Sovereigns. That's the heaven-devouring Demon Sovereign. I've met him before. That's the Kuan Sovereign. There's also the Dragon Sovereign. Numerous exclamations rang out. Very swiftly, everyone knew the identities of these people. The 5 Demon Sovereigns of the Demon God Mountain had all arrived. For a period of time, great waves of shock rose in the hearts of everyone. Although the Divine Ox clan invited the 5 Demon Sovereigns, it was only because they wanted to show off their might. Usually, the Demon God Mountain wouldn't come to support them. But now they actually came. Not only that, all 5 Demon Sovereigns came together. Since the 5 Demon Sovereigns were here, it naturally wouldn't be so simple. Did the Demon God Mountain want to contend against the Divine Ox clan for the position of the hegemon of the desolate region? Today is truly a good day. All 5 of you old demons are here. However, heaven-devouring old demon. What do you mean by your words earlier? The Ox chieftain coldly spoke. What do I mean? You don't understand? The heaven-devouring old ancestor laughed. Don't forget the history of your Divine Ox clan. Although the Luotian clan is somewhat weak now, their history is much more glorious compared to your Divine Ox clan. If Devilox of your Divine Ox clan wanted to marry a female from the Luotian clan, it would be suitable. But now, you want to marry 3 beautiful concubines? How delusional. I'm afraid your dreams are too beautiful, and in the end, all your efforts would be for naught, and you would be laughed at by others. Everyone could sense the deeper meaning in the words of the heaven-devouring old ancestor. It was like he was hinting at something. The expressions of the Divine Ox clan turned solemn. The chieftain's expression turned cold. What? Could it be that your Demon God Mountain wants to interfere in the matters of my Divine Ox clan? Haha. Our Demon God Mountain doesn't care about the matters between you and the Luotian clan. Today we came here for a single matter. Your Divine Ox clan has enslaved many demonic beasts of our demon race. Today we are going to bring all of them away. They belong to the Demon God Mountain. The Kuan Sovereign's eyes gleamed with arrogance as he spoke in a sharp voice. The Divine Ox clan once enslaved many greater demons in the desolate region. After that, some of the more powerful demonic races in the desolate region formed an alliance, eventually forming the current Demon God Mountain. But even until today, the Divine Ox clan didn't only have their own demons. They still had many other demonic beasts that worked for them. For example, the dragon and phoenix carriages were all pulled by dragons and phoenixes. The Kuan Sovereign's voice instantly caused a huge commotion. Today, the 5 demon sovereigns of the Demon God Mountain came here. Were they declaring war against the Divine Ox clan? The expression of the Divine Ox chieftain directly turned black. He stared at the 5 demon sovereigns and coldly spoke. Old demons, do you know what you are saying? I naturally know. The expressions of the demon sovereigns turned sharp. For a period of time, the joyous atmosphere instantly turned heavy, causing everyone to feel a sense of suffocation. Not long ago, the Divine Ox clan humiliated the Luotian clan. The Divine Ox clan was in high spirits and Devilox took a beauty from the Luotian clan as a concubine. Now the 5 demon sovereigns of the Demon God Mountain came here, wanting to take back all the demonic beasts the Divine Ox clan had enslaved. The Ox chieftain breathed out a dense demonic chi as he stared at the 5 demon sovereigns. At this moment in the air, a powerful aura suddenly gushed forth. The expression of the Ox chieftain froze. He inclined his head and stared at the sky. Who is it? 2 figures descended from the sky. When the Ox chieftain saw the people who came, his expression changed. He coldly spoke, Luotian Chuan. As the sound of his voice rang out, an uproar broke out in the Divine Ox castle. The person who came was actually the original clan leader of the Luotian clan, Luotian Chuan. And today was the day Devilox humiliated the Luotian clan, wanting to take a beauty from the Luotian clan as a concubine. His purpose of coming here was clear even without words. What was even more memorable was that before Luotian Chuan arrived, the 5 demon sovereigns had already stated their conditions. In addition, there was another heavenly deity beside Luotian Chuan. It was none other than Luotian II from the Luotian clan. The 5 demon sovereigns, Luotian Chuan and Luotian II, a total of 7 heavenly deities. And the Divine Ox clan only had a total of 7 heavenly deities. Right now, one of them was accompanying Devilox to escort the bride. In other words, there were only 6 heavenly deities in the Divine Ox castle. Naturally, among these 6 heavenly deities, the powerful Ox chieftain was present. But the other party had the original clan leader of the Luotian clan, Luotian Chuan, as well as the 5 demon sovereigns. How could they be weak? Clearly, they came here prepared. If one said that Luotian Chuan didn't join forces with the Demon God Mountain, who would believe it? This is going to be a great show. Many people silently mused, feeling excitement in their hearts. Not long ago, the Divine Ox clan joined forces with the Qin clan of the Heaven region to threaten the Luotian clan, ruthlessly humiliating them. And just when the Divine Ox clan was immersed in their fantasies of dominating the desolate region, Luotian Chuan joined forces with the 5 demon sovereigns and arrived at the Divine Ox castle. When Luotian Chuan arrived, Devilox and the others were on the way back. In a phoenix carriage, Luotian Meng's beautiful eyes finally involuntarily flowed with tears. Luotian Meng. At this moment, a voice rang out in her mind. Luotian Meng's eyes flashed. Her beautiful eyes stared at the guard beside the carriage. This was someone arranged by Grandpa Wang. Earlier, it seemed that it was him who transmitted his voice to her. Don't worry, you won't marry into the Divine Ox clan. Another voice rang out in Luotian Meng's mind. Her beautiful eyes flashed with a strange light. At this moment, the dragon and phoenix carriage suddenly stopped. In the air ahead, heavenly might bore down on them. Chapter 1868. In the Divine Ox Castle, the Ox chieftain stared at Luotian Chuan who just arrived. He coldly spoke, Luotian Chuan, you have already left the Luotian clan. This is a joyous occasion between our Divine Ox clan and the Luotian clan. It has nothing to do with you. Why are you here for? Clearly, the Ox chieftain felt trepidation. The arrival of 7 heavenly deities had already threatened the Divine Ox castle. I came here to announce a matter. Luotian Chuan calmly spoke, his words causing countless gazes to turn to him. Luotian Chuan came to the Divine Ox castle to announce a matter? What major matter was this? Back then when I abdicated my position as the Luotian clan leader, I have already separated myself from the Luotian clan. Now, I'm not here with the identity of the Luotian clan but rather, I've formed my own faction. There are some old friends in the Luotian clan who are willing to follow me. From today onwards, I, Luotian Chuan, shall be the 4th hegemonic power in the desolate region. Luotian Chuan calmly spoke. His words were like thunder exploding in the eardrums of everyone. Luotian Chuan wanted to establish a new hegemonic power independently. What did this mean? This meant that from today onwards, the fourth hegemonic power in the desolate region would be born. This also meant that the Luotian clan would officially split apart. They didn't doubt that Luo Shenchuan had the ability to split the Luotian clan. He had been the Luotian clan leader for many years and his influence was extremely deep. Right now, there was a heavenly deity from the Luotian clan following him. The Luotian clan was once the strongest hegemonic power in the desolate region, and had over 10 heavenly deities. Even if they were weakened now, if one included Luo Shenchuan, they would still have 9 heavenly deities. Naturally, one of the heavenly deities was brought away by the Qin clan. On the surface, there were only 8 heavenly deities left. After Luo Shenchuan formed his own faction, the Luotian clan split into 2. If they split it equally, they would still have 4 heavenly deities each. There wouldn't be a problem for them to become the 4th hegemonic power in the desolate region. The Luotian clan splitting apart should have been the most beneficial to the Divine Ox clan, because they would become the strongest hegemonic power in the desolate region. However, the experts from the Divine Ox clan weren't excited because Luo Shenchuan and the Demon God Mountain had joined forces. If it was in the past, such a situation wouldn't have happened. The desolate region was a tripartite balance of power, forming a balance. But now the balance was broken. The Qin clan of the Heaven region wanted to interfere in the matters of the desolate region. This was why Luo Shenchuan decided to join forces with the Demon God Mountain. So what of it? The Ox chieftain coldly asked. The heavenly deity of my Luotian clan, Luo Shenshao, is willing to follow me. The people of his bloodline will all be my subordinates. From now on, this includes his granddaughter, Luo Shenmeng. Luo Shenshao doesn't agree to Luo Shenmeng marrying into the Divine Ox clan. The Divine Ox clan isn't worthy. Hence, I came here to tell the Divine Ox clan that there's no need to hold the banquet. Luo Shenmeng won't marry. Luo Shenchuan calmly spoke. In addition, what the 5 demon sovereigns said earlier is logical. The demon sovereigns don't belong to your Divine Ox clan. They belong to the Demon God Mountain. The Divine Ox clan should release them. My Divine Ox clan has already escorted Luo Shenmeng from the Luotian clan. She will soon return to the Divine Ox clan. How can we stop her just because you say so? The Ox chieftain coldly spoke, wanting to probe Qin Wentian. I've already ordered my men to stop them. If the Divine Ox clan is willing to hand over Luo Shenmeng, it's fine. But if they are unwilling, they would be making an enemy out of me, Luo Shenchuan. If there are casualties, please don't mind it too much. Luo Shenchuan calmly spoke. Upon hearing Luo Shenchuan's words, the Ox chieftain's expression turned ashen. As expected, there were experts here. They came to the Divine Ox clan to seal the path. At this moment, a voice rang out in his mind, causing the Ox chieftain's expression to turn even more unsightly. He took out his messaging crystal and transmitted his voice. Luo Shenchuan and the experts from the Demon God Mountain are currently in my Divine Ox castle. You guys can handle the matters there yourself. After putting down his messaging crystal, the Ox chieftain stared at Luo Shenchuan. Luo Shenchuan, are you declaring war against my Divine Ox clan? That would have to depend on the attitude of the Divine Ox clan. I've already said it. Just do what I said earlier, and everything will be fine. If not, the Divine Ox clan wants to abduct my followers. In that case, it would be a declaration of war against me, Luo Shenchuan. I will naturally accompany them. Luo Shenchuan coldly replied. This scene was extremely similar to the time when the Divine Ox clan accompanied the Qin clan to the Luotian clan. It's just that the situation was reversed. Right now Luo Shenchuan had the initiative. Upon seeing this, everyone sighed. The Divine Ox clan insulted the Luotian clan, but Luo Shenmu didn't do anything. On the other hand, the original clan leader who left the Luotian clan stood out, wanting to return a tooth for a tooth. What about the demonic beasts under my clan's control? They originally belonged to my clan. What does that have to do with you? The Ox chieftain coldly spoke. For the sake of maintaining order in the desolate region, Luo Shenchuan calmly spoke. The Ox chieftain's expression turned black. What was order? Such an excuse was simply an insult to the intelligence of the Ox clan. However, It was just like how they dealt with the Luotian clan. Since the Ox clan and the Ox chieftain joined forces, they would definitely achieve their goals. Was an excuse important? His Divine Ox clan faced the same choice as the Luotian clan. They could either compromise or start a war. Today, the 10,000 clans gathered here. Initially, they thought that it would be a glorious day for the Divine Ox clan, symbolizing that their Divine Ox clan would ascend to the peak of the desolate region. But now, those beautiful fantasies seem to be filled with mockery. Luotian Chuan told the Divine Ox clan that whatever they can do, he can do as well. On the other side, at the location of the Dragon Phoenix chariot, after the heavenly might descended, 2 heavenly deities descended from the sky. Both of them were heavenly deities of the Luotian clan. Luotian Meng's grandfather, Luotian Xiao, as well as Luotian Wang, who said he would accompany the Luotian clan back then, appeared in the air. The expressions of the people from the Luotian clan changed. Luotian Qiong walked out. What do you all mean by this? Luotian Qiong, Luotian Mu is willing to let the Luotian clan suffer such humiliation. However, many people in our Luotian clan are unable to endure it. We have to get revenge for this humiliation. Right now, clan leader has already arrived at the Divine Ox clan. Clan leader wants to get revenge for how the Divine Ox clan treated the Luotian clan. Luotian Xiao spoke. The clan leader he spoke of naturally wasn't Luotian Mu but Luotian Chuan. Luotian Qiong instantly understood. He coldly spoke. Luotian Chuan stepping down is the will of the entire Luotian clan. Back then, you all didn't have any objections. But now, are you all planning to betray the Luotian clan? Betray? Luotian Wang sighed. Luotian Qiong, you have to ask yourself honestly. Is the Luotian clan now still the Luotian clan? Clan leader has already decided to establish a new clan. All of us are willing to follow him and restore the glory of the Luotian clan. Are you willing to follow Luotian Mu or the clan leader? Have you all gone mad? This is a betrayal, splitting the Luotian clan apart. Luotian Qiong's expression was extremely ugly to behold. There were 2 heavenly deities here, in addition to the disappearance of the Luotian 2 earlier. Could it be that all of them submitted to Luotian Chuan? If this was the case, the entire Luotian clan would be split into 2. Think about it carefully. Are Luotian Mu's actions worthy of the Luotian clan? Facing the humiliation of the Qin clan and Divine Ox clan, he still wants to get rid of those who opposed him in the past. Such actions aren't worthy of being the leader of the Luotian clan. Let's not waste any more words. If you still have a bit of conscience, just step aside. Right now, I've already decided to follow the clan leader and establish my own clan. My granddaughter won't marry someone of a lower status. That vile beast isn't worthy. Luotian Xiao coldly spoke. Below, on the dragon carriage, Devilox's expression turned ashen. The experts from the Divine Ox clan beside him all had looks of rage on their faces. The Luotian clan actually went back on their words. Also, they just sent a message to their chieftain saying that Luotian Chuan and the experts from the Demon God Mountain had arrived at the Divine Ox Castle. You all want to go back on what the Luotian clan has agreed to? The voice of the heavenly deity from the Divine Ox clan was extremely cold. I've said it before. Right now, we have already decided to follow our clan leader and establish our own clan. We are no longer under the jurisdiction of the Luotian clan. You bunch of vile beasts are delusional. Scram back to where you came from. Luotian Zhao's words were impolite, causing the experts from the Divine Ox clan to be filled with towering rage. That heavenly deity stared at Luotian Qiong. Luotian Qiong, if we don't settle this matter today, let alone the Divine Ox clan, the Qin clan is also a witness. They definitely won't let this matter rest. Let Devilox and the others leave first. We will stop the 2 of them. Luotian Qiong spoke. Right now, the Qin clan was divided. If they offended the Divine Ox clan and the Qin clan too much, the consequences would be even more severe. Right now, since Luotian Chuan stepped out, he would make the Divine Ox clan place this debt on Luotian Chuan and the others. As for whether they could save Luotian Meng and the others, that would depend on how much preparation Luotian Chuan and the others had made. At the very least, he wanted to draw a line between the Luotian clan on the Luotian mountain and this matter. With the foundation of the Luotian clan, even Luotian Chuan wouldn't want to implicate the Luotian mountain. Right. The heavenly deity from the divine Ox clan spoke. After that, the two of them soared into the clouds, flying towards Luotian Xiao and Luotian Wang. Continue moving forward. Devilox commanded. The dragon phoenix chariot continued forward. His gaze coldly swept towards the people from the Luotian clan. He had to be on guard against these people, but right now no one dared to make things difficult for them. Luotian Meng was extremely nervous at this moment. She clenched her fists tightly. The arrival of her grandfather and Grandpa Wang seemed to have verified the words the people around her told her. However, in a battle between four heavenly deities, who on her side would be able to stop the people from the divine Ox clan? The speed of the dragon phoenix chariot was extremely fast, soaring through the air. Behind them, terrifying heavenly might erupted forth. Over there, a deity-level battle had erupted, causing the heavens and earth to crumble. They traveled for a very long distance, but they still couldn't break away from the pressure. Devilox has been on high alert. He transmitted his voice to the experts from the Divine Ox clan. Prepare yourselves, the other party might have some backup plans. After transmitting his voice, he spoke to the people from the Luotian clan. It's enough for the people from the Luotian clan to arrive here. You guys can return first. Next, my Divine Ox clan will bring my 3 wives back to the Divine Ox castle. Many experts from the Luotian clan understood what Devilox meant. Many of them nodded and turned to leave. The vast majority of people were arranged by Luotian Mu. There were no relatives of the 3 beauties from the Luotian clan present. There were a few people who were arranged by Luotian Wang. An example was the guard beside Luotian Meng. He simply stood there unmoving and there was no aura emanating from him at all. It was like everything in his body was concealed. Devilox's ruthless eyes instantly landed on that guard. Before this, he didn't care about a mere guard. But now 2 heavenly deities appeared. In addition to the fact that this guard didn't emit any aura, it was clear that he had cultivated some sort of concealment technique. Did you not hear my words? Devilox coldly asked. As the sound of his voice faded, the concealment energy from that guard vanished as a surge of pressure gushed forth. Devilox frowned. After that, his expression abruptly changed. His eyes gleamed with a terrifying coldness as he icily spoke. Qin Wentian. From that pressure, he could sense the aura of a Dao bone. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. How did Devilox know that it was him? His countenance changed, revealing a handsome face. Luotian Meng also had a look of disbelief on her face when she saw Qin Wentian. Qin Zhong went to chase after Qin Wentian and in the end, Qin Zhong died. Qin Wentian actually didn't die and now he appeared beside her. Chapter 1869. Luotian Meng instantly understood. Seems like Grandpa Wang intentionally arranged for Qin Wentian to be by her side. Grandpa Wang and Grandpa Wang both opposed Luotian Mu and supported Luotian Chuan. You are actually still alive. Could it be that the Luotian clan had a hand in Qin Zhong's death? Devilox narrowed his eyes. The things that happened today couldn't help but make him suspect. The heavenly deities of the Luotian clan suddenly betrayed Luotian Mu and submitted to Luotian Chuan again. Qin Wentian appeared in the wedding procession, and Luotian Chuan personally came to the Divine Ox castle. Clearly, this was planned meticulously and Luotian Wang cooperated with Luotian Chuan as a spy. When we were in Tiandao Sacred Academy, didn't you want to spar with me? Now your chance has arrived. Qin Wentian's expression was cold. Devilox laughed uproariously. Spar? Why should I spar with you? So what if you are alive? Since you dare to appear here alone, I will make sure you die here. Your Dao bone will also be mine. As he spoke, Devilox waved his hand. The experts from the Divine Ox clan surrounded Qin Wentian. He naturally wouldn't let his emotions affect his decisions and fight against Qin Wentian alone. Given Qin Wentian's strength, he still felt some trepidation. The other experts from the Luotian clan have all left. Only Qin Wentian was left behind. Devilox didn't understand what Qin Wentian's intention was. Although he didn't have any heavenly deities with him, There were many powerful world overlords and several hegemonic-level world overlords. How could Qin Wentian fight against them? Luo Shenming's beautiful eyes flashed with worry. Indeed, even if Grandpa Wang arranged for Qin Wentian to be here, the other party had many experts. Violent waves of demonic qi engulfed the area. Behind the experts from the Divine Ox clan, a gigantic shadow kuei appeared, blotting out the sky and instantly sealing this space, not allowing Qin Wentian any chance to escape. However, Qin Wentian's expression was incomparably calm when he saw this scene. He released his sword-type astral soul. Right now, his astral soul was different from before. His sword domain and sword-type astral soul seemed to contain the might of the Tao. Luo Shenyu once saw Qin Wentian's battle, and said that Qin Wentian's comprehension wasn't any weaker compared to him. This meant that Qin Wentian had already comprehended the power of a heavenly deities. Devilox, you are known as a supreme genius of the Divine Ox clan. However, your understanding of strength is still limited to the number of people you have. How laughable. Qin Wentian calmly glanced at Devilox. After that, he pulled out his sword. At this moment, the light from his sword domain fused into the demon sword as a terrifying stillness energy appeared in the air. It felt like the space around him was about to freeze. Luo Shenming could sense this the clearest. She didn't move at all. Her beautiful eyes were fixed there as she watched Qin Wentian pull out his sword. After that, he slashed out with his sword. The might of the great Tao seemed to be lacerating the sky. In an instant, a perfect arc of sword light appeared in the air. Everywhere it passed by, time and space froze. After that, the arc of sword light directly slashed apart, severing space. Qin Wentian slashed out at his original location. Yet he ignored the distance and directly descended upon the surrounding space. Wherever the sword light was, the Tao would be. Devilox inclined his head and stared at the air. Over there, he only saw a spatial tear appearing. Everywhere the arc of sword light passed by, the bodies of the Divine Ox clan's experts would be directly slashed apart. The gigantic Kuei Ox shadow directly crumbled apart. The sword slashed out, cleaving apart space, splitting the heavens and earth apart. This seemingly ordinary sword strike contained too much energy within it, transforming into a supreme sword strike. Even for hegemonic-level existences, they would still be slain by a single slash. At this moment, Devilox knew how great the disparity between him and Qin Wentian was. There was no way to make up for it. Qin Wentian's actions didn't stop. He once used the Tao of Swords to slash apart the body of a heavenly deity, Qin Zhong. Even heavenly deities could be killed. In addition, after that battle, his comprehension and usage of strength grew even stronger. How could world overlords block a single sword strike from him? Sword light flashed once more. Within his astral soul, numerous ancient sword runes appeared, floating in the air. The experts from the Divine Ox clan were all slain one after another. In just an instant, all of them died. Other than Devilox, no one else survived. Devilox's countenance turned pale. At this moment he felt terror. He took out his messaging crystal, but at the instant he did so, Qin Wentian directly appeared before him. Time and space seemed to freeze. Devilox's movements stiffened. He used his own strength to resist the power of time and space, but at the same time, a beam of light directly pierced through his messaging crystal. The sword light sealed this space. Only Qin Wentian and Devilox were here. Even Luo Shenming couldn't see the situation inside, because the thing he was about to do wasn't that elegant. At this moment, an incomparably resplendent light erupted from Devilox's body as a heaven-shaking battle intent radiated from him. With a thunderous roar, the frozen space seemed to collapse. Devilox transformed into a gigantic Kuei Ox, incomparably baleful. His body radiated a treasured light, and just the battle aura he exuded was sufficient to crush the heavens and earth. Qin Wentian, if you kill me, how can you still live? Devilox coldly spoke. I've already killed Qin Zhong. So what if you are one more? Qin Wentian calmly spoke. The terror in Devilox's eyes grew even more intense. Qin Zhong was killed by Qin Wentian? How can this be possible? Qin Wentian could already kill heavenly deities? Seems like although you are born with a Dao bone, it's still the Dao bone of the Battle Saint tribe. Qin Wentian calmly spoke. A look of shock flashed in Devilox's eyes. The Battle Saint tribe was a very ancient existence. It wasn't strange for Qin Wentian to know about it through ancient records. But why did he immediately say that it was the Dao Bone of the Battle Saint tribe, when he sensed the Dao Bone's might? What relationship do you have with the Battle Saint tribe? Devilox coldly asked. There's no need for you to know this. However, after so many years have passed, it's about time for your Dao Bone to return to its rightful owner. Didn't you always want my Dao Bone? Back in the world of reincarnation, you wanted to ambush me and snatch it away. Today you have a chance. The Dao Bone in Qin Wentian's body also gushed forth. Beams of light blasted onto Devilox's gigantic body, causing his tyrannical aura to almost freeze. He let out a heaven-shaking roar of rage, wanting to break free from Qin Wentian's Heaven Heart mandate. Numerous gigantic Kuei Ox shadows appeared, wanting to destroy everything. But in this space, their movements were all slowed down. They basically couldn't unleash their might. Staring at Qin Wentian walking closer, a look of terror appeared on Devilox's face. Don't kill me. I can agree to any request you have. There are many treasures in my Divine Ox clan. I can use them to exchange for my life. Qin Wentian continued walking forward, not wavering at all. Devilox was extremely despicable. Back then in the world of reincarnation, Devilox sneak attacked Qin Wentian, wanting to dig out his Dao Bone. Leaving aside the fact that Devilox's words weren't attractive to Qin Wentian. Even if they were, they wouldn't be trustworthy. Staring at Qin Wentian getting closer, Devilox's eyes were filled with boundless terror. He was a supreme character of the Divine Ox clan, and had a Dao Bone in his body. When he unleashed his full strength, he would be extremely powerful. But today he was actually going to die here, and his Dao Bone was going to be dug out. When he thought of this, he couldn't help but feel a sense of terror gushing forth. Sword light flashed, blotting out this space. In the sealed space, Luo Shenmeng stared ahead. She had no idea what was going on. But very swiftly, Qin Wentian walked out. His white robes were spotless as he directly landed on the Phoenix chariot. Destroy the messaging crystals on you guys. These dragons and phoenixes followed Qin Wentian's instructions and destroyed their messaging crystals. They naturally understood Qin Wentian's meaning. He was worried that they would inform the Divine Ox clan of this matter. Head to the Demon God Mountain. Seeing them destroying their messaging crystals, Qin Wentian spoke again. After they arrived at the Demon God Mountain, the Demon God Mountain would naturally deal with them. If they were enslaved by the Divine Ox clan, they could cultivate on the Demon God Mountain in the future. The dragon and phoenix chariot changed directions and flew towards the Demon God Mountain. Luo Shenmeng was still sitting on the chariot, staring at the white-robed figure on the phoenix. Her beautiful eyes flashed with gratitude as she softly spoke, "Thank you." From the time when the heavenly deities intercepted them, to the time when deity-level battles erupted, to the time when Devilox and the others died, it actually wasn't a long period of time. The four heavenly deities were still fighting, destroying the heavens and earth. It was only until Luo Shenwang and Luo Shenxiao received a voice transmission that Qin Wentian and Luo Shenxiong were saved that they continued to delay the Divine Ox clan. At the very least, they couldn't allow them to chase after Luo Shenmeng. What are you doing? Devilox is dead. Not long after, the Ox chieftain's enraged roar rang out in the mind of the Divine Ox clan's heavenly deity. That heavenly deity's body trembled as his heavenly might fluctuated unstably. His countenance turned ashen as he stared at the two heavenly deities before him. Who killed Devilox? He roared in rage. Luo Shenxiong was shocked. Devilox was killed? As expected, Luo Shenchuan still had a backup plan. I told you guys to hand over Devilox and leave, but you guys didn't listen and wanted to start a war. Since this is the case, you guys should be prepared to pay the price. Luo Shenwen calmly spoke. The Divine Ox clan's heavenly deity wanted to continue fighting, but the Ox chieftain's voice rang out in his mind again. Return to the Divine Ox castle immediately. The Divine Ox clan's heavenly deity gave up on fighting. He turned and sped towards the direction of the Divine Ox castle. Luo Shenjiao's silhouette flashed as he chased after him. Luo Shenwang remained in his original location, staring at Luo Shenqiong. Luo Shenqiong took out his messaging crystal and reported everything that happened to Luo Shenmu. After Luo Shenmu learned of this, his roar of rage rang out from the Luoshan mountain. Luo Shenchuan, you want to destroy the Luoshan clan? Not long after he became the clan leader, the Luoshan clan was humiliated. After that, Luo Shenchuan split the Luoshan clan. Everything was out of his control. He didn't know what would happen to the Luoshan clan in the future. Return to the Divine Ox Castle immediately. Luo Shenmu replied to Luo Shenqiong. Since things have already happened, it was about time for them to settle everything. At the very least, the Luoshan mountain had to express their attitude. This matter was done by Luo Shenchuan, and had nothing to do with the Luoshan clan. If not, the Luoshan clan that was split apart would be in an even more passive position. Since Luo Shenchuan did this, he naturally had to bear all the consequences. He didn't want the Luoshan clan to be implicated. Chapter 1870. In the Divine Ox Castle, after the Ox Chieftain learned that Devil Ox was killed, a heavenly might erupted forth from him. He immediately sent a message for the Divine Ox clan's heavenly deity to return. A low roar rang out as his body expanded in size. Behind him, the shadow of the Kuei Ox towered into the sky, radiating a baleful aura that enveloped the entire Divine Ox Castle. The people who came here to attend the banquet were all stunned. They stared in shock at the Ox Chieftain, who was suddenly enraged. Before this, when Luo Shenchuan and the Demon Sovereign stated their conditions, the Ox Chieftain wasn't so violent. But now he seemed to be on the verge of going berserk. Luo Shenchuan, you actually sent people to kill Devil Ox? The Ox Chieftain's voice boomed out like thunder in the minds of everyone, causing their hearts to pound. Their eardrums felt like they were about to rupture, feeling extremely unbearable. They had to incline their heads and stare at the Ox Chieftain's body before they could see his rage. He had transformed into a true demon god, unleashing his anger. Devil Ox was actually killed by someone. This person who inherited the Dao Bone of the Divine Ox clan was the treasure of the Divine Ox clan. No one could touch him. Killing him was equivalent to challenging the bottom line of the Divine Ox clan. No wonder the Ox Chieftain would erupt forth with such heaven-shaking might. In that case, I've already sent people to fetch Luo Shenmeng. Your Divine Ox clan didn't agree? Luo Shenchuan coldly spoke. His body grew larger, becoming as large as the Ox Chieftain. He radiated a supreme might, like the true sovereign of all demons. Countless demonic beasts felt his aura, and wanted to prostrate themselves on the ground. The Luoshan clan possessed the bloodline that all demons in the desolate region wanted to obtain. It was precisely because of this that the Divine Ox clan always wanted to obtain the women of the Luoshan clan. I've already announced that Luo Shenmeng will leave the Luoshan clan and submit to me. Your Divine Ox clan actually still dared to forcefully abduct her? Do you still have me in your eyes? Luo Shenchuan's voice was cold, his aura shocking the heavens. So what if Devil Ox died? It's your Divine Ox clan that didn't do as I said. Although this is within my expectations, how can you show weakness in a confrontation between heavenly deities? Not only the Ox Chieftain would be enraged. The Ox Chieftain didn't completely lose his rationality. He knew that if they fought against the Divine Ox Castle, firstly in terms of strength, they wouldn't have any advantage. Secondly, if the battlefield was the Divine Ox Castle, it would only be a calamity for their Divine Ox clan. Once a deity-level battle erupted, he didn't believe that the Divine Ox clan would show mercy. The Ox Chieftain stared fixedly at Luo Shenchuan. The highest bloodline talent of the Luoshan clan was the rearing divinity, able to summon a myriad of demonic beasts. In addition to Luo Shenchuan's strength, if they fought, the Ox Chieftain wouldn't be able to gain any advantage. I can agree to your conditions and no longer pursue the matter of Luo Shenmeng. Similarly, I can also release the enslaved demonic beasts. However, you have to return the corpse of Devil Ox to me. The Ox Chieftain spoke. As the sound of his voice faded, countless people were shocked. The Ox Chieftain actually made a concession. Seems like to him, Devil Ox's corpse was more important than anything else. In fact, even if the Divine Ox clan had to suffer humiliation, he still wanted to obtain the corpse of Devilox first. Everyone in the desolate region knew that there was a Dao bone in Devilox's body. Also, those who read the ancient records knew that this was the Battle Saint bone of the Battle Saint tribe. Once, the Battle Saint tribe relied on this supreme inheritance to become one of the peak powers in the desolate region. They had always been suppressing the Divine Ox clan, and even forced the Divine Ox clan to migrate to avoid calamity. This lasted until the Divine Ox clan stole the Battle Saint bone, causing the Battle Saint tribe to lose their most important inheritance, and started to decline. It was recorded in the ancient records that the Battle Saint bone was simply too important to the Battle Saint tribe. With the Battle Saint bone, the talent of the descendants of the Divine Ox clan would all rise. With the inheritance of the Battle Saint tribe, it wasn't something an ordinary Dao bone could compare to. If not, the Battle Saint tribe wouldn't have gradually declined after losing the Battle Saint bone. The effect of the Dao bone in the body of the Divine Ox clan had already weakened. However, the Divine Ox clan still viewed it as a supreme treasure. Right now, even if they had to suffer humiliation and temporarily compromise, the Ox chieftains still wanted to obtain the Dao bone back first. Not pursue this matter? I haven't said that I won't pursue what your Divine Ox clan has done. Luoshan Chuan coldly replied. As for releasing all the greater demons, this is the idea of the 5 demon sovereigns. This isn't something that can be used to negotiate. Today, the Divine Ox clan has to hand over the Dao bone no matter what. The corpse of Devilox still wanted the Dao bone back? The Divine Ox clan humiliated the Luoshan clan. It wouldn't be too much for them to collect some interest, right? In addition, Qin Wentian volunteered to do this. Qin Wentian told him that the Dao bone in Devilox's body was extremely useful to him. This was why Luoshan Chuan arranged for Luoshan Wang to bring the disguised Qin Wentian back to the Luoshan mountain. After speaking, Luoshan Chuan took out his messaging crystal and pretended to ask a question. A moment later, his expression turned heavy, incomparably cold. Luoshan Xiao told me that back then, they were dealing with the heavenly deities of your Divine Ox clan, as well as Luoshan Qiong. Devilox ignored Luoshan Zhao's words and still brought Luoshan Meng to the Divine Ox clan, even chasing the people of the Luoshan clan away. Right now, Luoshan Meng and 2 other maidens of my Luoshan clan are missing. All of this was done by your Devilox clan. Shouldn't your Divine Ox clan give me an explanation? You. The Ox chieftain roared in rage. Luoshan Chuan actually didn't want to admit that he was the one who did it, and even retorted, saying that Luoshan Meng went missing. Could it be that this wasn't arranged by him? The people below were speechless. Heavenly deities were truly shameless when playing tricks. They naturally wouldn't believe Luoshan Chuan's words. Clearly, he was the one who ordered his subordinates to do this. He didn't want to return the Dao bone, but he didn't want to admit it. What does the Divine Ox clan want to do? Start a war? Let's play with them then. Let's fight then. The Ox chieftain roared in rage. He soared up into the air, but Luoshan Chuan merely coldly glanced at him. For those who have nothing to do with this, just leave. The Dao is emotionless. If you are implicated, don't blame me for dying together with the Divine Ox clan. Luoshan Chuan stood at his original location and stared at the Ox chieftain. Wanting to fight in the air? Why? When the Divine Ox clan arrived at the Luoshan mountain, they weren't so polite at all. Seems like the Divine Ox clan doesn't intend to hand over the enslaved demonic beasts. The Kuan sovereign coldly spoke. Abruptly, he reverted to his true form. An incomparably gigantic rock appeared in the air, blotting out the sun. His wings spread open and spanned across 10,000 miles. It was incomparably majestic and tyrannical. A stifling wave of demonic qi engulfed the area. His wings were like the sharpest divine weapon in the world, capable of slicing through everything. He slowly flapped his wings, but although they seemed very slow, they still caused a destructive storm below. The Divine Ox clan was in chaos. The expressions of countless experts changed. If a deity-level battle really erupted, they would be caught in the crossfire. Chieftain. Many people from the Divine Ox clan stared at their chieftain, as terror appeared on their faces. It wasn't realistic to say that they weren't afraid. No matter humans or demons, they would all have a backbone. But in the face of life, what would they want? Dignity or life? Back then when the Qin clan and Divine Ox clan came to the Luotian Mountain, could it be that the people on the Luotian Mountain weren't afraid? There were some who were unwilling to be humiliated and wanted to fight. But what about the others? Could it be that they were waiting for death, who would easily gamble with their lives? Right now, the Divine Ox clan was facing the same choice. The Kuan sovereign has already reverted to his true form. If you feel that I don't dare to start a war, you can give it a try then. Naturally, if you dare to do so, you must have the advantage in terms of strength. It was so back then when you came to the Luotian Mountain. It was the same today. On Luotian Chuan's side, it wasn't as simple as having an additional heavenly deity. Also, the combat prowess of the 5 demon sovereigns wasn't something ordinary heavenly deities could compare to. What you guys did to my Divine Ox clan today, are you not afraid that I will return the favor to the Luotian clan and Demon God Mountain? The Ox chieftain roared in rage. Old Ox, I should be the one saying this to you. Back then when you came to the Luotian Mountain, did you not expect such a day would come? Naturally, you can still go to the Luotian Mountain and Demon God Mountain in the future. But unless the Divine Ox clan can kill us all, we can still bathe the Divine Ox clan in blood. Luotian Chuan domineeringly replied. Chieftain, we originally didn't come here to start a war. We only came here to let the demonic beasts return to where they should be. This is all for the sake of maintaining order in the desolate region. The heaven-devouring demon sovereign laughed. The Ox chieftain wanted to curse out loud. Shameless to the extreme. The wedding can no longer be held. Chieftain still hasn't said anything? Could it be that the banquet still wants to continue? Do you want to treat us to a few cups of wine? I don't have such an interest. The dragon sovereign radiated a tyrannical aura as she spoke. The Ox chieftain glanced at these people. After that, he closed his eyes and spoke. Fine, I will do as you all wish. In that case, many thanks to chieftain. The Kuan sovereign calmly spoke. The Divine Ox clan compromised. The hearts of everyone trembled. A deity-level battle ultimately didn't erupt. Luotian Chuan was right. This matter was started by the Divine Ox clan and the Qin clan. Luotian Chuan was merely returning the favor. However, given the personality of the Divine Ox clan, they most probably wouldn't let this matter rest. In the future, the desolate region wouldn't be peaceful anymore. Back then, in order to avoid calamity, the Divine Ox clan even hid in a particle world, enduring the humiliation, and eventually destroyed the Battle Saint tribe. Right now, even the Dao bone of the Divine Ox clan was seized. The Divine Ox clan could only temporarily swallow this anger, but they definitely wouldn't give up so easily. After that, the Divine Ox clan issued an eviction order, chasing away all the experts from the other races. After that, they handed all the greater demons over to the 5 demon sovereigns. When the heavenly deities of the Divine Ox clan, Luotian Xiong and Luotian Xiao arrived at the Divine Ox clan, everything had already concluded. Luotian Xiong sighed in his heart. He didn't expect that the humiliation the Luotian clan suffered would actually be avenged by the original clan leader, Luotian Chuan. He felt some bitterness in his heart. But standing from Luotian Mu's standpoint, he couldn't blame Luotian Chuan. Could it be that he wanted to watch as the Luotian mountain was raised to flat ground? On the Demon God Mountain, the 5 demon sovereigns led the greater demons back. Many of the demonic beasts were extremely excited. Although their statuses in the Divine Ox clan weren't considered low, they still had to depend on the charity of others. Over there, only the members of the Divine Ox clan were supreme existences. As for the Demon God Mountain, it was truly a paradise for demonic beasts. Now that they came here, as long as they could become demon gods, they would be able to become demon sovereigns. Awesome! The heaven-devouring old ancestor heartily spoke. After making arrangements for the demonic beasts, they arrived at the peak of an ancient mountain. He then spoke to Luotian Chuan. This time around, our Demon God Mountain has gained many demonic beasts. As for you, Luotian Chuan, you didn't gain anything at all. I've gained a lot. Luotian Chuan laughed. Avenging the humiliation Luotian Chuan suffered was the most important thing. In addition, Qin Wentian obtained the Dao Bone. At this moment, a few figures descended. It was none other than Qin Wentian and Luoshan Meng. Luoshan Yu and Luoshan Lei also came. They all knew about what happened in the Divine Ox Castle. Grandfather. Qin Wentian walked towards Luoshan Chuan. Luoshan Chuan nodded to him. Grandfather, this time around, we finally managed to vent our anger and redeem the humiliation we suffered in the past. Luoshan Lei was somewhat excited. Don't forget that there's still the Qin clan. Qin Wentian spoke. Luoshan Lei's beautiful eyes froze. Luoshan Chuan's eyes also flashed with coldness. The Qin clan was the true culprit. Right now, the Qin clan brought away a heavenly deity and 10 world overlords of their Luoshan clan. This debt wouldn't be so easily repaid. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.